Winstrike. Looking good.
Yeah. Definitely playing their draft at the tempo that's necessary. And Cheshire Cat, again, has just been very, very instrumental in setting up this tempo here for the side of the Radiant.
A dog again, too. Like Slayer shows himself through this deep ward they have top, like he's just dead.
Yep, definitely dead.
Dire's bottom tower is
all right, well, that is an
mad.
Aegis collected now for Doracho. And
right, this is because he got crit in the laning phase. Now Rebel has just turned it up a notch.
It's lit a fire in his heart. Is that what you're trying to say here, Fog?
It really seems like he's playing really well on this puck. 6-1 and 4. He's always just playing super aggressive, playing around their vision. Love the build. Blink Witch play is kind of standard now, but he's making it so much happen with it.
I think part of that too is just, you know, having the Slardar as well. Like, you know, the fact that he's got the Cursed Haze, he's got the mobility, so he can really set up and allow Rebel to, not that he ever was really like super far behind, but just allowing the setup so that he can follow it perfectly and they can kind of be the cleanup squad afterwards.
Yeah, it's two different forms of initiation, while Unique has pretty much none. The Ghost Stick, he's that form of initiation. He's got Mech, so he's not going to blink for some time. Bignum has actually landed some really clutch stuns on the like predicting where the blinks were going to come. That was actually one of the things that happened around the Ancients that made the fight go so well for them, but it's hard. Like, Slardar and Puck just have so much reach to get on top of these max switch heroes, and this over-leveled Slardar is just a huge problem. Minus 15 armor on all these heroes. Like, everyone is unbelievably squishy whenever a Cheshire Cat comes in.
You have the BKB picked up now for FN, so that'll make things a little bit easier for him. But of course, they do have ways to play around that on the side of Winstrike and try to, you know, reduce. Well, maybe not reduce, but what's the word? I can't think of it. Waste some of the BKB time? Yeah, that sort of thing, you know. So he's not able to do anything while he's got it. I had a very specific word. For whatever reason, I just cannot think of it for the life of me. One of those days.
He's not that farmed though. Like, FN, it looks decent, right? Because you're this Doom, but Doom overall, you get a free 240. You know, you get a free 240 every minute. Puck is ahead of you in gold. Like, that kind of says everything. Rebel is almost going to have Aghanim stuff in these next few moments. So BKB's nice on the Doom. Your spin is nice on your Jug. But this Ags is going to ruin the team fights for Unique. Just their overall approaches. He can go in freely as this Puck just doesn't matter who he coils in. Rather than worry about it being wasted.
Yemich has been down here for a good 2-3 minutes, and they just have not been able to push him away. They are putting pressure down on this tier 1 now. I don't think they're going to try to fight over it, but top tower goes down, and no, doesn't look like. They know that Yamich is here, but again, he's got Icarus dive. He can easily just swoop away. In fact, he doesn't even want to stay here anymore. He realizes, all right, the rest of my team, they're not coming. I'm headed over to the mid lane. I'll regroup. There's no fight here right now.
No. And you know, the other funny thing to point out is our gyrocopter who went Urn this game, he hasn't been in any fights. So this Urn has just been effective. It's a nice mana regen at the very least. Some nice stats and mana regen.
Such a look on the bright side moment here. Just like, well, at least, you know, the mana regen, right, Mox? Like, yeah, sure, Fogged. That's great.
It's just funny, right? Like, because he went for it probably because he thought he was going to be getting a lot more pressure on in this game, but his mid and his off lane went so well that he's actually has no pressure on him at all. He's just like, whatever, I don't want to sell it. And it's still going to have value. So, whatever. The rest of his items look great. He's having a pretty free time on Duracho, but, you know, he's got 2 deaths, but he hasn't had to join and show up to the fights. Like, his team has done all the damage without him.
I mean, considering that our panel was really, you know, again, the keyword, impossible. Very difficult gyro game here. He's doing a bang-up job, and I think a lot of it has to come from, you know, the fact that his team is just playing very fast and making the space and opportunities for him. So, smoke-on-smoke action, though, coming out now from the side of Winstrike, from the side of Unique, and I don't think they're expecting the wraparound.
They need to Doom on Rebel. He is way too problematic. He has an Aghanim's. They have to find that target. Otherwise, the fight for Unique is going to be a disaster. They need to find this Puck. See if they can.
Puck
Rebel
might be walking right
He
into the
shows
palm of their hands here if they're not careful. Oh, they don't have the vision, though, yet. He's hiding too much in this tree line. They're not going to find him, Fog.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Running out.
They're going to run into Yamich. I think that's fine. And they didn't get the RP up immediately. Just turn right around Yamich. And Chachakan this time won't go down. Chacho trying his best here, trying to put out the damage. Is going to skip save by the snowball for a little bit longer. The Aegis does pop. The chase after Ghostic, they'll find the kill. And now Rainbow, they still have not managed to get their hands on this cheeky little Puck. He is still chasing the death. There it is finally, though. The Doom gets used. Pantoman is still nearby. As Duracho is continuing, throwing out the flag. Can he do enough damage, though, is the question. I'm not quite sure. Is Pantoman thinking about going? LSA comes through. At the very last second, Palantimos is going to be able to teleport home. But they used the Doom, they used the Laguna Blade on Rebel, and they weren't able to kill him.
No, they couldn't find him. Rebel, he played patient. The coil, it lands on almost everybody, but they're actually just, you know, they held their ground and just stood there the entirety of it for Winstrike, or for Unique. So it could have actually been worse for them, but it could have also been better. They couldn't get that initial grab on Rebel, and now Doom is wasted. Now they have a long downtime where they can't actually fight on the side of Unique. So Winstrike's still very happy and continued to get this huge farm. Duracho, he's almost got BKB now, so he's going to be way safer in these upcoming fights. As he did get earned charges, right? Or did he actually get kills when he didn't have when he was still on the ground?
I'm not 100% sure on that.
I think he was dead. I think he was Aegis respawning when the kills happened.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he got focused down pretty hard there. But now they know they have this window. They don't have RP. You don't have Laguna Blade. You don't have the Doom. Now's the time to make something happen. And again, Cheshire Cat seeing that opening immediately. They follow. They even go for the egg just in case anybody else tries to hop in there all of a sudden. And look at Rebel. He's just hunting Ghostic over here, but he won't go for that dive into the base just yet. Said he'll turn around, he'll de-ward, and regroup with the rest of the team.
Just keep playing smart. They still have coil available. They know there's no way Unique fights into this. Take the tier 2. Unique. They need more time. This Jug's still so poor. This is a empowered Jug who is significantly behind the Puck and the Gyrocopter on the opposing side. Because he's not getting the time to farm it. That's how bad that lane really went. It's really reflecting everything for Unique. Rebel?
Oh, Rebel finding this Jug. This silence should be able to run away here, but look at these TPs. Dreamcoil does indeed get used, and this is an ad on him as well. This is actually looking very, very bad for them as they go. They follow up, though. They've got plenty of damage with that ink, so they turn right back in again. Magnum, though, is taking a lot of damage here from Duracho, and they're just soaking up that Omni Slash. It's not looking good, although Cheshire Cat will fall. They'll follow up. They'll hold them into place. Do they have enough damage to take them out? Yes, they will, as Yamich now flapping those little wings, trying to get out. They were not expecting a hit that fast. And the Doom, they want this kill so bad. Inkswell connects. Triple kill now for FN.
And Tip Slayer for sure. The little heals that come in from the Shard, from the Grimstroke, it actually keeps Palantimos alive. He would have died otherwise. They get a great connection with the double Inkswell. Bignum waiting on the wings here as the Lina. Bignum is actually doing a lot of work. I gotta be honest. He's preemptively casting these stuns before a lot of these heroes are blinking, and he's getting the connection. Unique this time, they hit back, and they hit back really hard.
God, they got the double Laguna off during all this too.
Yep. The leash as well with the double silence on the Puck, and I believe the tusk, so he can't go for a save either. It was actually like picture perfect moments for Unique, and it still looked scary right at the end until Ghostic comes in. We see that Inkswell, the mech, just heal up Palantimos that tiny extra bit. See his HP drop to about below 100 during all of it there, and everything coming into play. Unique finally catch themselves in a good stride this game.
I wouldn't say that, Winstrike is out of this by any means, though.
No, not yet.
But that was a very nice fight coming out from the side of Unique. And, definitely needed to kind of slow down the tempo just a little bit. Because, again, we talked about this. They need to play at such a breakneck speed on the side of Winstrike. Because as it gets later and later, it gets much scarier for them.
Yeah, I think just keep vision of Roshan right now. Doom is on cooldown. RP's on cooldown. You have a great way to kill Rosh extremely fast. You have Slardar and Tag Team, the Corrosive Haze. So just sit in the Rosh pit. I think just one person has to keep scouting it, hope for an early spawn, and it is. It's actually up in 2 seconds. This is going to be a very fortunate spawn for Winstrike if they scout it. So they're not right now, unfortunately for them. So it's going to buy Unique time to get these ults back online, and then the fight still looking pretty difficult. It's all about those initiations now that Ghostic does have Blink Dagger.
They know it's up. Yamich will walk into the pit. I have to say, they've been playing so tightly around this. They were definitely anticipating it being up very soon, so...
Get it.
They should be able
for them.
to.
So they're going to have Aegis, Cheese, and a Shard now to be able to play into Doom and RP. That's very fortunate.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Down goes Roshan, and Dyrachyo will be able to pick up the Aegis.
Radiant's
The
bottom
Winstrike
tower
now.
is under attack.
And of course, oh yes, we have the Shard picked up over on the Slardar.
Ooh, really nice with Gyro. You can't apply Corrosive Haze on all 5 targets, or however many targets usually. However, you get a nice stun combo, then your flak is going to be really nice. So that could actually be really good combos, especially with Puck too.
A soldier's fortune.
Feels like Unique is just going to continue to farm up here on the lower end of the map and wait patiently here. Again, I don't feel like they want to go running into them and taking that fight at this time if possible.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's still difficult because it's like they do have these core matchups and they do have this Magnus and Doom, these BKB big stuns and big disables. But Winstrike, it's not like they don't scale significantly as the game goes on either. A Corrosive Haze with your Gyro. Phoenix is the best scaling support in this game in comparison to the Grim and Lina. The Phoenix just continues to get that much stronger, so they still do have shots even if the game does get to later stage. It's a little harder for them to execute in comparison to Unique if it gets to these crazy later game. Later fights.
I know the panel was very concerned about the gyrocopter specifically within their draft too. As the side of Unique gets more and more farm, gets those levels online, it becomes very difficult for him to be the damage that's necessary.
Absolutely. Jug just has such a good core matchup versus him. Like, you Omni him, or you Swift Slash him, and Gyro has, no counterplay. He just dies to it, usually is Winstrike.
Still gonna see an opening. They find FN. The BKBs get dropped almost immediately, as they do manage to take down FN. There's the RP, though, coming out from Ghostic. They need more people here, though. They need to be able to do out more damage. Laguna comes out. Are they gonna be able to take down Pantherman? Yes, he will fall. Ghostic also, as well, now taken down. Palantimo should be able to teleport out, but... it was a good pick-off. There is no Doom. There's no... Doom the hero, rather. There's no RP now, and the Magnus is down for 40-something seconds on both of those cores. So, Winstrike has to be feeling pretty happy about that. Lotus Orb does get picked up for Yamich, and they're going high ground.
They should. No RP. They also used the Soulbind, I believe, too, so it's a great fight now for Winstrike. I'm surprised Unique actually even went to try to help the Doom. Like, the Mag going in and RPing there, they did not have the setup. They also used Omni Slash to finish up the Tusk, so this high guard defense is going to be tough.
I just didn't feel like they had enough damage there at the time. And again, they did have plenty of damage, but it just... the positioning, the way it all went down, it just wasn't enough here.
They have to be explosive when they hit. Like, if the RP hits, the Jug has to be there immediately when the RP is happening. That was just... it was very staggered the way that they showed up because the Doom gets jumped on, so... Unique, they'll live to at least keep their racks alive after wasting a couple of those ultis.
All right, we get the smoke play coming out from Unique. Slayer will lead the charge. Hoping to... oh, they don't pop the smoke, though. They don't... okay, they do realize it there because immediately that ward gets taken down.
They're going to know now on Winstrike. They got to just stick together, keep this high ground. Dyrachyo on the front lines since he's got this Aegis. They want Cheshire Cat, though.
Yeah,
might get caught here.
I think he will indeed get caught because they've got the Doom, the Stomp, and everything everything to just hold them in place and allow them to get the kill. Slayer actually being the one to get the final hit off, but FX does need to be careful. Does have the BKB. They'll use the Dream Coil over on Bountivas and over on the Doom. The spin comes out. Inksploit will connect. It's a beautiful egg, but it's just a split fight over on the side. As you can hear that little blade going off. The mech is going to get used, trying to buy a little bit more time. Tetracat does fight back during all of this, but Rainbow, there it is. There's the RP. It's beautiful, but do they have the damage? That's the problem. It just keeps skewering. They've got 3 of them, but it's not enough. Ghost, despite that beautiful RP, just not going to be able to get the damage dealt. As 4 heroes on the side of Unique crumble.
It was. They got the 4, but Omni Slash still on cooldown from that fight that happened in the jungle when he used it earlier. It's got a very long cooldown there. If he had it, maybe they can potentially get like a couple feet up there, but Winstrike, they hit hard. The buys back just in case, and the coil comes out on the 2 most important heroes, the Jug and the Doom. They snap it, and they just get a full cleanup there. Winstrike able to surround them.
flesh fears them. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team pick.
Unique may have already taken down PuckChamp, but they're finding that Winstrike is a little bit harder to beat, as the series has now been tied up 1-1 with Winstrike having the momentum going into Game 3. And it feels like drafting-wise, even though we may have sided against them for this Game 3, in some ways, I'm just going to trust whatever Winstrike does. Which seems to be opening with a Puck-Tusk duo.
Yep, worked for him last game, run it back. I think the Phoenix also may have had a lot to do with that last game.
That's true.
Yeah.
The wins, won every game so far.
10 seconds remaining.
It's a lot of damage. I think the BKB, well, it's not really BKB piercing, but Sunray just seems to do a lot of damage. And the sustain, the power it gives you in a fight.
They've definitely got to give some respect to this game as well, to the potential of Cheshire Cat getting one of those solid heroes. His Slardar last game was a huge enabler to these heroes like the Jara, making sure that he did have the potential for that heavy physical damage early, and just having something to beat up the jug through that magic immunity with.
So instead of the beef of last game where they went Grimstroke Doom, they're going for the mobility of Void Spirits as an answer to Puck. Do you like that more?
5 seconds remaining. Dire team
To say, I think it's definitely more even. It's nice to have like at least some answer that can get things done. I don't know, as a matchup, Doom is definitely a counter to Puck, but the way the game gets played out, it doesn't feel like you actually have real tools to deal. You can't stop Puck from doing what Puck wants to do. Void Spirit can. Okay. You can match the aggression. The note I would have on the opening bans, though, Ghost Stick's hero pool has been severely limited. He didn't seem very confident on the mag. He's known as more of a playmaker than he is an aura buyer. And with no Centaur, Mars, or Beastmaster, those are all staples in his repertoire. Bat Rider is not viable, I think, at all on this patch. So curious to see what he moves into. I hope it's not a Sand King.
He was playing, I don't know if they necessarily picked it up in this patch, but Tide was one of the big ones he was playing a lot with the squad. But I don't know where you sort of see Tide falling at the moment.
I do like Grimstroke Tide, personally.
Why
I think anything that helps Tidehunter be more viable outside of his ultimate.
True.
Right? So Tide feels like, okay, maybe he's just a Gush and Ravage bot, but you give it an Ink Swell, he can actually get on top of people with the increased movement speed. He does a stun, he hits an Anchor Smash. He's actually outputting some good damage at that point.
Dire team ban.
We shall see.
There's the Phoenix ban. So no Phoenix ban there. Yeah. No Phoenix play this game.
I think that's the right move. The first pick out of this phase, it just seems too easy to grab a Phoenix. It's just, I can't think of a better hero the way these teams have been playing. A lot of battling, a lot of focus around objectives. And we've seen two pretty solid answers to deal with it. Sapphire in one game, Alina the next. Neither effective.
All right, so what are some other big team fight supports that can replace the Phoenix?
Warlock, perhaps?
Warlock?
Dire team pick.
Does a form of... Would you call that percentage-based damage? Yeah, I guess so.
Fatal Bonds is...
It's a shared damage that's percentage, but not necessarily more effective against strength heroes. Unless
in a way it is, though, because then you beat up on the strength hero.
Yeah.
You beat up on everybody else. Also, to note, I had not realized that Arzik is coaching Team Unique. One of my favorite personalities.
Why?
Over in Rush.
Why?
He's a nice guy. I hung out with him a bunch when he was still coaching VP. I like his attitude. And I guess I'm biased. Well, not biased, but how much fun did I have at the hotel bar with somebody? Has a big impact on how I rate them in their profession.
That is very accurate, I would say.
And there you go, Carl. You're saying this one as well. You're asking for some Necro, some AA. We saw a Necro. It didn't work out. We're going to see an AA this
5
game.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, Puck AA. I like that combo.
Yep.
Guaranteed Ice Blast.
Damage amp. Really good with Tusk, too.
And does this sort of put you off drafting some of the tanky heroes still, or you're still going to go for it? It's just that they will have a solid measure at threatening them.
That's the right pick. Stay aggro. You've now kind of revealed your hand as a Winstrike, where you got a lot of damage, but you're like a Death Star. You want to be able to pick a spot, unleash hell. Will be much more difficult if you have an ink-swelled spirit getting right on top of either the Puck or the AA. Wraith King kind of changes the status quo a bit, though. We saw this lane in Europe last week. You're way more powerful than I think we gave credit for. Just a stun with a cold feet.
Remaining.
The E-slow auto attack coming in, skeletons, like they were just straight up killing heroes at level 3.
Yeah, and the 3 heroes you've got so far on Unique, I mean, they're sort of the definition of heroes that go in, will take you down, but bringing you down a second time is not really going to be any of these heroes' forte, with everything blown on Wraith King the first time round. So it seems like a much better game for the Wraith King here compared to what we saw earlier today.
Surely this is, they should have seen this coming, though, right? This is like the preferred Ancient Apparition core to play.
Yeah. It is a nasty Medusa game if they want to go that route. I'm not certain that they will, and it's not really in line with the Unique style. Is Lifestealer available?
Yep.
I know. Yeah. Lifestealer is one of Palantimos' preferred.
Radiant team banned.
There we go.
The go-to Wraith King counter pick from a lot of the higher level pubs I've been seeing, which I think doesn't really reveal too much other than what the regional Zeitgeist is for hero power, hero matchups, because with no real bans, no captain's mode, if I have to pick my carry hero earlier, you get your
5
choice
seconds remaining.
of what you'd pick against it. From what I've seen, Lifestealer is de facto the best option against Wraith King.
Radiant team banned.
Does, I'm presuming it does, Infest's HP increase that you give to somebody is probably ruined by Ice Blast?
I believe so. You can't, yes, it would be. You cannot increase your health pool.
But if you get it in beforehand,
yes, then it would be very effective.
That will be very nice to have. And Winstrike's lineup is looking kind of burst-oriented, right? Puck, Tusk, they're looking to just boom, 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 take somebody out in the fight at the very start.
I mean, you already have the built-in delivery, too, with both spirits. It's just such a perfect pick.
How do you feel about, well, I guess it is Ancient Apparition. I was going to say Death Prophet for Unique. Trying to think of another offlane hero, maybe range that does well against Wraith King.
10 seconds remaining.
You could Venomancer or Viper him.
I wouldn't mind a Venomancer, but it's just real tough. You might end up feeding. What else is there? Actually, you know what you do? Maybe an Abaddon.
10 seconds remaining.
Aren't you somewhat afraid? Like, I feel like whenever I have Lifestealer, I don't want save. I want more damage or control.
I think Abaddon gives you some damage, but it's more that you can kind of just be the frontliner. You can pressure towers a bit. LC's banned out, right?
Yeah.
I think that having a cleanse in this kind of game would be really helpful against what's a pretty rudimentary, like 1, 2, 3 stun combo. You know, the Wraith King opening, Puck and AA following up, Tusk.
What about Omni Knight over Abaddon? Just because he makes Lifestealer stronger? Yeah,
and also Abaddon deals with the AA a lot more effectively. Where, you don't heal through your ultimate, but you can remove spells. Another good option. This same concept, but no cleanse. Just tank up, buy a pipe, spam the wave.
And they were lacking a certain amount. All they really had was Grimstroke when it came to wave clear. So now Underlord can help you get to the right areas on the map, help push in creep waves.
I actually like this a lot now I think about it.
It's a good route as well against the potential Tusk saves, and of course against the Puck, something else to trip him up.
Yeah.
They're going to go for it again. It may not have worked for them game one.
What
the Cheshire
I say.
It's
the cycle. TI7. This is the meta. This is the patch. AA Necro. You cast the scythe. Drop the hammer. The W, whatever that spell's called. Ice Vortex.
Okay. So is it a winning lineup? You've got a lot of playmaking still. You got a decent amount of control. So I feel like whenever I see Necrophos, I'm like a little bit leery. Do you have enough stuns? They certainly do.
Yeah.
Puck, Wraith King, Tusk.
Yeah, I mean, I feel especially after that second game loss, I think Unique maybe looking a little too shaky for me.
Yeah.
No, I feel it's kind of hard to go with them. I did think that second game draft should have had a lot better of a chance than they were able to show that it did. And this game with this lineup, I think that they are going to be able to put enough pressure on, and I think it's going to be a totally different game for the Wraith King in comparison to what he was able to achieve last game, in the first game. This time round, I don't think they're going to be able to kill him twice very easily. He's going to have a lot of backup.
I think the most even draft, it'll be tough. I'd lean Unique just because I think that their lineup is a lot more forgiving. Voids, like they have the taxi out if necessary. They stay out too late. Then you have double spirit with a lifestealer who can hop in.
There is a Puck. That Dream Ball is going to be annoying for these spirits.
Yes, but it's the same. He's playing into an Underlord. There's going to be a very early pipe. I think the damage reduction from Unique and damage mitigation avoidance is going to prove too powerful.
Sounds like a matchup where the mids are going to be super important here, right? Because either one could have a super hard game, one way or the other. Yeah. Okay, well, that's the storyline we're going to go with here for this draft number 3. But what happens inside the game, that's entirely up to the players, and it's all going to be casted by our lovely Moxie and Fogged.
Well, we get 2 different drafts this time around, and it feels like this time they're a lot more even. Are you leaning one way or the other here, Fog, though?
The hero that just popped up right in the middle of my screen is the only one that I don't really like too much on the side of Winstrike. That AA coming up right in the middle of the draft. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with it, really, because I didn't see a reason. Usually it's because you see like your Morphling, your Necrophos, these big heals that are going to be coming out. He didn't see anything. The only things he saw were like what? Void Spirit, Earth Spirit, and Grimstroke when they picked it up. So I'm curious as to see why they did and what they're going to be able to do with it. I think it's really just about that full-out aggression. Winstrike maybe feeling themselves a little bit. And yeah, I'm wondering if it is going to end up working out. The Necrophos didn't end up working out the best the last time, and he is playing into a lot of silences, a lot of magic damage too. Wondering how it's going to end up all going together, as it's not traditional for your initiation, so I feel like a lot of the game on Winstrike is going to be on Rebel's shoulders. However, he had such a good Puck performance that, maybe that can be pretty okay.
Yeah, but I would argue that one of the reasons why Rebel had such a nice game is because of the fact that he was able to pair up with Cheshire Cat and make a lot of these plays. And this time around, it's a lot more on his shoulders. Not so much, you don't have that really nice ability where you can have a Slardar just jump in with the Slithering Crush and open up the doors for you. You've got to find these things. You've got to search for them yourself. And there's only so much that a Tusk can really do. It's a great skirmisher, though. It's going to be able to make things happen, but you also have very mobile heroes over on the side of Unique in the form of the Spirit Brothers.
Absolutely true. And in the game when he's Puck, he's playing versus Doom and some other heroes with some wind-up, right? They've got some decent wind-up to be able to catch him. There's some just built-in silences. Grimstroke, that one's a little bit of a wind-up. Puck can play around it, but Earth Spirit, it's almost instant. Aether Remnant, also pretty disruptive, and later on, if FN gets to the points where he gets like Aghanims and stuff, the game can get a lot harder. And yeah, it's Rebel alone, right? He doesn't have the backup of a Slardar jumping in with him. It's going to take way more time for a Tusk to get that type of blink. So yeah, we'll see how it all ends up happening. As it's tri-lane. So I guess that's the idea with the AA. They want to be extremely aggressive with this and just then switch it up, just get a good start. Cheshire, but no, they move.
I think it's just going to be very, very scary for the side of Winstrike, just because, again, you do have it's a position 5 Grimstroke. He's not going to be getting that shard super, super fast, but it's definitely something that they have to really be mindful of when you consider the fact that, you know, Slayer is going to be staying so far back, and he's got the capability to just throw this nice stun out over onto, you know, any one of those heroes that are very, very mobile. You know, some skirmishing here in the top lane. They are going to be able to snipe a courier, though, so that feels pretty nice. And to see the taunt coming out from Pantomime here.
I'm really worried. Like this, the AA Wraith King. Okay, that's also the other thing, right? AA Wraith King. This is a tried and tested combo, so I guess that's the other reason that they did go for it. They just wanted to have a strong lane up here, but I actually quite like this Underlord and Earth Spirit versus the AA and Wraith King. They're just gonna have to pull the waves a little bit like that, but if this Underlord's able to get good farm and he gets a good timing on the pipe that Kyle was suggesting, it's an excellent pipe game. Necrophos, AA, Puck. You can counteract so much of the damage that's coming in.
Yeah, I just don't see how they take him out, like, as the game gets later and later, once he does pick up those items, because he's going to be so incredibly tanky.
It's going to be difficult for sure. They're going to have to throw quite a lot of spells on him, but at least they do have ways to take out tanky heroes. Right? Ice Vortex plus a Necro Reaper Scythe can definitely just remove him.
But is that necessarily who you want to be using that on, though? Because, you know, the lockdown is a little bit light coming out from the side of Winstrike as well.
It might be necessary, right? Just to remove that pipe aura, because then you have so much. Because eventually he will go for that. He will have that. He might just have to go for that type of target. And even ulting on Lifestealer is going to be hard. Void Spirit can be a pretty elusive hero to play around. So there's still two targets that he probably just. It's mostly Void Spirit and the Lifestealer is just tough to set up on.
All right, now. Got Rebel just a little bit further ahead here from FN. It's about to be expected, though, with the Puck, again, being ranged and also having some very nice base attack damage here to harass with.
Great matchup, yeah. Rebel should have a very good start into that mid-game. However, as you said, you know, the silences, they're going to come into play. That Earth Spirit, we're going to have to watch how much Bignum can do to cripple Rebel's game inside of the midst of all this. And just looking at lanes, you know, he's struggled a little bit down bottom. Necrophos and Tusk just hitting him. I mean, it's just the harassment that comes into play. Just Necrophos versus these strength heroes is quite annoying.
Yeah, and there's only so much a Slayer can really do here. He has to be careful that he doesn't get out of position, because if he does, it's just a very easy sort of kill here. Top lane, the roll doesn't quite connect, but we'll push Duracho apart a little bit as Palantimos was trying to make some plays here over on Cheshire Cat with that Inkswell, but immediately rages up, just backs off. He doesn't want to hard commit to this.
Has to be careful. Every time tag team's used, that's why he skilled Rage, just to be able to protect himself versus it, rather than having the Ghoul Frenzy. So it's more of a defensive approach, which I feel like actually hurts the lane, because you have Grimstroke who wants to be more aggressive. Now Palantimos is more of a passive kind of style to this build.
And Duracha has just been able to dodge all of these rolls each time. Not getting as much as they really would like out of that top lane, but
No.
I'm sure that the Wraith King is feeling pretty happy about the fact that this lane's going a lot better than the previous lane against Unique.
Just such interesting starting items too on Pantomime. I don't know. He's like starting with a no build up on the AA, the 5 position. They're gonna try a Ghost Stick, but he's so tanky.
He is indeed. In fact, they are gonna have to pop those stick charges over on the Wraith King, and they're just gonna turn right back around again and just continue to farm up.
This will be a slow start for Duracho in comparison to the other game where he was playing Wraith King. Catch back up. That's the thing about AA. You have kill combo in your lane if you reverse is something that's actually killable because of the hold feed plus the stun, but Underlord is not killable.
No, I think you really would have to go after the Earth Spirit if you have any hope of actually grabbing anyone in that lane. And the positioning has just been very nice coming out from him, so it's going to be difficult to find it. Again, they just keep trying to make these plays over onto Ghost Stick, but he's so tanky. They get hit back here by Bignum. Some body blocks coming out as well. Ghost Stick, he is sitting a little bit low this time. Are they going to be able to get the final hit up? No, they're going to have to back off. Again, he's still alive and kicking in the bottom lane. It's the Inkswell will proc here on Slayer. He goes and uses the Fairy Fire, uses the stick charges. Is he actually going to make it out alive? No, the shards at the last second will be able to get the first blood.
To be second.
Very nicely done, Slayer. As you said, has to be very careful of his positioning. He steps up just a bit too far, I believe, to put down this Sentry Ward. It's taken out because of it. He will block the camp for the further pulls to prevent them, but does pay with his life. Top, let's see, Ghost Stick. He brings himself a salve, so he's going to be able to counteract a lot of that aggression that was coming out, as we did see, Winstrike. They used a lot of mana to try to kill him. So I think it was, 2 sets of cold feet and 2 sets of chilling. Bottom.
Yeah, they've got enough damage to take down Cheshire Cat. Snowball will connect over onto Palantimos in a moment. And there's a roll coming out now as we have a rotation from Bignum. This is looking like a dead Yamich as well. Couple more hits, couple body blocks. The Shards are trying pretty hard. He's still alive. He's sidestepping, but eventually will go down to Bignum.
Good move from Bignum. I like that he actually comes down here at the 6-minute mark, leaving the Underlord alone. Ghostic has to be careful, but he picks himself up an Urn Chunk.
This is nice, though. We do get the haste rune that's picked up on FN. He's going to hunt through the jungle, see if he can find any stacks or anything like that. Any stragglers, perhaps, but...
Okay. Nice deep ward. He knows Wraith King's going to eventually go into the jungle here, so potentially they could catch him off guard if he is low. They're also spotting out if there were any stacks. None, actually, at the moment. Winstrike's still 1k ahead, though, off of this laning start. Puck having such a good start. And getting that first blood, of course.
That, and he did force FN to go walk all the way home earlier on, so gives him a little bit more of an advantage. And exactly what they need over on the side of Winstrike is for this puck to pop off. So, all eyes on Rebel. Had a great game in game number 2, and he's hoping he can repeat it.
Look at this bottom. FN, this haste rune, Cheshire Cat, he's very vulnerable. No points in Ghost Shroud either, as it's all magic damage anyway.
He's going for a bit of a dive here. That's what's shared. But look at the teleports that they immediately call out. Puck was thinking about TPing. Will cancel. In the top lane, though, this is not looking great for Ghostic, as he eventually does fall now that he doesn't have anyone there to help protect him and give him the little kick out in case.
And the power of the AA. It's just about that lane, that extra control damage. And he even completed the null. Actually kind of funny to point out. Any extra damage, some extra mana. Sure, why not? Not your traditional 5 stuff, but works out for Phantom this time as 2k gold advantage now for Winstrike off of that one.
I do like the way that they immediately identify, okay, we can see, you know, how many heroes down here in this other lane. That means that this hero is all alone. Quick, let's make something happen. I love that. I love seeing that efficiency and that aggression.
Yeah. I don't, you know, I'm a little concerned still because of this AA overall in the game, because I feel like they might lack some type of follow-ups and lockdown, because it's like AA5 Necro as your offlaner, so it's like a lot is reliant on the puck to make all these active plays. But right now it's working, and you know, I'm glad that they can at least just go for aggression. They're confident enough to just go because of how these last few games have gone.
You have to be careful. They know that Palantimos is he's got the rage available if necessary, but the shards will come through. They're trying to body block. Again, he has that infest up, though, so he'll pop into a creep and wait patiently here. Hold him over at the side, but there's a step forward. It's a snowball coming in hot. He's just waiting patiently in front of the Astral, so the pop out, and FN collects himself a kill.
That was a fast snowball that he casted, too. Damn. But yeah, still does get brought down to that 8th Remnant. Wraith King now going to go to jungle. They're going to give AA the lane, so a fast level 6 coming up on the AA, that could be really nice. They have good ways to combo it with the puck, too. So that could be really good for their attempts at aggression, especially onto this Void Spirit. That extra little bit of damage might be everything.
Again, I really like that they've placed this deep ward into the dire jungle, but you can see now that he's walked out, he's going to go see if he can collect himself the bounty rune here, which has been left.
I love it.
And now
Joe gets it, and now he can maybe make him play onto Ghostic.
Yeah.
AA is going to get 6 off of this wave, so maybe waits till that 6 does hit.
No mana over here on Ghostic at all. He is going to move back. And there is a little battle here in the mid lane. They'd like to pressure this tower that the supports are sticking behind over on both sides.
Level 6 AA. They're playing around the ruin, so 25 seconds until that next one will come out. They can catch anybody. A coil onto anybody will be a kill now with AA. They have ward vision of Ghostic. Looks like that's going to be the target, perhaps.
They're
or maybe
hoping,
FN.
Yeah, I think they really would like to get FN if possible. Yeah. He's very far forward here, so the Dream Coil is going to come out. They'll follow up with the Snowball, with the Ice Blast, and that is a very dead FN, but they're going to try to follow up here. They have those shards, trying to find enough hits over onto Rabel. Not going to be able to quite get it off, as again, Cheshire Cat teleporting over to the mid lane. Palantimos is here as well. There's a lot of action over in the mid lane as Ghostic is forced to just teleport away, and we do get a pause.
And we do get the same farm for Duracho, even though at first it looked a little weird for him up top. The pressure was coming out. He's now level 8. He's got level 3 skeletons. He actually forces Ghostic out of lane by himself as they make an aggressive move mid. Everything's working for Winstrike, so that aggressive picks that they've gone for are absolutely working, and I'm loving the way that they're moving around. They're not really giving Unique much breathing room on the map at all. The Wraith King being able to push that Underlord out of top is pretty huge. I think Ghostic might just rift back up. to continue defending it, but that's the fact that your one position is able to force out an off lane, give this openness to your supports. That's huge for Winstrike. A nice D ward they're gonna get. Two supports moving together, playing around their puck. Mid though.
Yep, he'd be able to go and find a kill on Cheshire Cat over there. So a nice, quick little pick off again. Seeing that the supports are moving around a little bit opens the door for pick off potential. And the pressure's on here in the top lane. They've already rotated Palantimos up top. They want to be able to take down this tier 1. Again, like you said, Fog, they're going to want to farm up over on the Wraith King. And if they can take away those access points into the Dire jungle, it makes things a lot easier.
Yeah, it's a tough game state right now for Unique, though, because they want to pressure towers, but it's really scary for them to do it without the Underlord. So I feel like they have to just play around Ghost Stick quite a lot right now in these next upcoming moments, because I think the puck in the AA will kill pretty much anybody, as we see in this replay here. It's an insta kill. Like this type of control and this type of damage this early on, it's massive. It's pre-10 minutes and that AA blast is online. So I don't think that Unique was expecting to get hit by that this early on.
It feels bad too because Palantimos made his own rotation to the mid lane and they weren't even able to collect any kills. So definitely feeling pretty good right now if you're Unique, or rather Winstrike. But Unique is going to be able to join up with the party wave here on top and take this tier 1 at the very least.
But also at the same time, Rebel takes out bottom tower, so he's not looking to defend top. He's looking to make his own moves, their own aggression. That's the thing. The puck in the AA, it's all aggression that they are going for, and they're even setting up for mid too.
Yeah, they want this Void Spirit. They spotted the Grimstroke over there, but they have no interest. They would rather get FN. They've got the Ice Blast. They've got everything that they need for a good fight, or just a fast hit and run, so to speak. Last player will get spotted out here, and they don't even need to use anything too wild. They've got an illusion run. They do enough damage, and just like that, this mid tower should go handily over to the side of Winstrike.
When you're able to get this Witchblade at such an early time on these pucks, like you don't have to use coil to kill supports. It's just a silence and an orb and 2 or 3 right clicks and they're dead.
Here, yeah, they're going in. The Ice Blast should connect, and down goes Ghost Stick. Big Numb not looking too healthy either. He'll be the next one to fall. Oh, the Dream Coil gets used. They managed to find the Void Spirit over here on the side. Yules buys a little bit more time. They're not going to be able to immediately stun him. But Palantimos walks into everyone here. That is not what he wants to do. Is going to have to hitch a ride here on Slayer and just run for his life.
They're just getting ran through right now, though. Winstrike just diving past the tower. Not even losing like the Wraith King ult once, not losing a single hero. Now they're swinging toward top 2. This is Winstrike just winning in every essence of it, as they also a courier from Slayer around that secret shop and just firm grasp of this game right now. 5k gold advantage, another D ward coming up from Pantomime.
I mean, they're just running at them. What can they do? Okay, perhaps they can pick this off here, but again, the rest of the team, they immediately show up, and they're actually looking for any sort of opening, anyone that they can catch with those ice shards. Not going to be able to quite find it, but look at them. Just the way that they run at the side of Unique. It does look like they will be able to go and grab Slayer. That is position 5, so, you know, if anyone's got to go down on the side of Unique, you're happy it's that guy, but how do you run from this?
They're just getting ran over, and now it's like, the thing is, they're not able to fight even when Coil's dead. Now Coil's back up. So now FN has to be super careful the entire time that this Coil is available. This is just really heads-up move from Winstrike. Unique is not prepared for this aggression at all. And we said, like, I feel like Bignum has to really step it up this game to be the guy to go in, the guy to start stuff, to kind of break up this aggression that's coming up from Winstrike, because it's starting to get too overwhelming. This Wraith King's going to start farming way faster than Lifestealer. I mean, just the nature of the hero. He's going to have Radiance at a very fast point in this game, too. And there's not really any moves that Unique can make around the map themselves. This is a big concern.
They might be able to find the Necrophos over here. In fact, a step forward, drop the Remnant, patiently roll on in, Inkswell, but a big old Ice Blast coming in hot. Won't land on 2 of them. Unfortunately, they don't have a way to quite grab them here on the side of Winstrike. No Blink available, obviously. Does have just maybe enough here to throw out that Wraithfire Blast. It doesn't have any steps left. The slowdown again coming out here with the board to throw forward coming out from Bignum. He's trying to buy a little bit more time. FN actually going to survive this. They don't have the vision on him. He's going to be able to probably walk away. Yes, teleports out. Bignum is going to have to be the sacrifice. But he sacrifices his life to get his core out, and that's the best that they can hope for in that instance, because someone had to die there.
Yeah, they really did. Someone had to, and it's really just running is the name of the game. It feels like from Unique. They get Cheshire Cat, who's, I mean, I feel like Cheshire Cat kind of gifted that one, completely away from his team, just farming a jungle camp, caught off guard. But as soon as the rest of the team shows up, it's full retreat. Unique. He didn't just be unable to battle versus this Winstrike heavy aggression. FN is walking back to base full HP, full mana.
Why?
So scared. They're so scared of all these plays.
And look at these wards, too. Look at this. The second that they step out of that base to try to get a simple D ward. And Slayer, Slayer's just offering himself up to the king. He lets the boys finish him off.
Okay. Wow. Unique is crumbling.
Ghostic is just stuck over here in the corner. He's going to try to Dark Rift out, and I don't believe they have enough damage to kill him before he just go. Oh, the scythe! No, they do! They absolutely do.
Lucky, this is a disaster. Unique is just full out crumbling all over the place. Winstrike, every game, even the game they lost, I think they were winning the Vision Wars. This one, they're crushing it.
They're just baiting, it feels like, the entire time. Even just the Vision. You saw that. Bignum tried to step outside the base just to get the D ward, and immediately everybody just clapped. Damage does get picked up. He'll dodge very nicely here from Dracho, but it definitely feels very scary for him right now. Palantimo's trying the best he can. He's trying to shove out these waves. But look at the way that Winstrike is just circling around in the jungle. They know that somebody's going to be down here. Ward gets dropped by Slayer, and they see it.
Way more of the map. Yeah, and another, I actually want to say that's, I don't know, I think that's like 6 or 7 D wards coming out from Pantoman as well as Yamich. They are just absolutely crushing it on these two supports this game.
Got some very interesting warding spots, and I'm definitely going to go back and watch this myself as a support player because I'm really enjoying the way that they're positioning them. I think there was like a little cheeky one over at the, because again, the map has changed. There's a lot more of these little spaces that we're seeing.
These wards behind towers, like if you're just neglecting the high grounds, I've seen now 2 or 3 times now where Winstrike puts a ward behind a tower and it gets them just so much info. This time, it got dewarded. I think they denied it. And it looks like Unique trying to make their own aggressive move, but they can't.
I don't think they realize just who else is waiting behind. Yeah, the Dream Coil is going to get used over onto FN and immediately snaps, and he has that double damage. He wants to be the aggressor here, Fogged. But the rest of the team hot in pursuit. They need the vision, though. Do they have it? The shards? Now at the last second, they'll be able to teleport on out.
Space for Palantimos, that's what they would say. But at the same time, too, Winstrike would be like, well, we've got a Radiance already on our Wraith King.
They do indeed. And they have a creep wave pushing in on 2 different areas here, and looks like they probably will be putting some pressure on this bottom tower very soon.
This Wraith King is going to slaughter everybody. He has 5,000 net worth over the Underlord.
Bignum? Oh, Bignum. You wanted to try to make a play here with that Inkswell on him. FN throwing out the Astro will drag back over onto the test. Bignum rolling in, does get the magnetize off of the rest of the team as they'll just jump in. The follow-up is here as the scythe comes through. Bignum will fall. Yamich still alive after being initiated on. And on the back line, FN, he just doesn't have any way to get out of here.
To nothingness.
No hopes of fighting.
No.
They can't take a fight at all. Like even the small heals coming out from Chester Cat, it's enough. I can't believe not even the Tusk ends up dying. He's the one who gets initiated on from Bignum, and all of the spells from the side of Unique. Winstrike just tanks through it.
It's just looking way too scary for the side of Unique, and they're just always hunting. They're always moving together, and they're just applying such firm pressure on this game that Unique, I don't think they know exactly what to do here.
No, I feel like Winstrike overall in this series have just absolutely proved it to me that they're the better team overall in the macro game. Like the way that they've been controlling the map, actually all 3 games, even the game that they lost, I feel like it was just a draft mistake. It was just the morphing that they could not address. This game and the last one, they've just looked so hot the way they're playing together as a team, playing around Vision, and just playing these pressure points.
FN walks directly into Yamich and Pantherman. Look just the way that they move together, though. I love this.
It's all grouped. They know that they can't do anything alone. The Tusk and the AA, they're always together looking for plays.
All right, Daracho's putting pressure on the mid tower, waiting for the creeps to show up. He's got those boys to help tank. And this is a mid tower that's not long for this world.
No.
And he's going to be buffed up the entire game, too. Not to mention the Ice Vortex with the Radiance, that little extra damage that'll be coming in. but he's going to have Solar Crest very soon on Yamish, so he's going to be a lot stronger in the fights than Palantimos, who Solar Crest is nowhere near on the menu. Nobody on his team is going to be able to build that one up, so it's going to be a really uphill battle for this poor Lifestealer, who already has been having a very uphill battle.
Nope, nobody's down there.
Well, looks like they've taken all of the outer towers over on the side of Winstrike here, and now they've got their eyes possibly on this top lane.
Pipe is finished up.
But look at Taracho, just running at FN. You see that?
Look how tanky he is. He's 2,300 HP with the armlet. Like, unless he's 5v1, he's not gonna die. And now they've got a good opportunity for Roche since they've pushed in that mid lane. They're gonna start it and force Unique hand.
All right, so how do they approach this Roche fight? How do they contest this? Can they contest this?
I don't think they can. No, I actually just really do not think that they can go in here at this point.
That definitely feels bad, but they're trying to push out here in the bottom lane. Looks like they're going to make the moves towards the pit. They're not going to make it in time. Yeah, look at that immediate smoke. They're looking for that perfect angle for this fight. And look at the way that Unique immediately Delta split. They get out of the area. They're like, all right, well, let's get some farm at the very least, boys, before we have to teleport home in high ground.
Yep. They do have, as I was mentioning, they do have the pipe on Ghost Stick. It's finished up, so a lot of that damage will be negated, but now the items have all started rolling in so much. The Winstrike is...
Oh, Ghost Stick! Ghost Stick takes a step too far out of that base, and he is just dead. So that's some of their beautiful wave clear.
Yeah, he's the high ground defense. He's actually pretty much the whole high ground defense, since they have the stroke at least from Slayer, but
that's
they really need that Underlord.
That's pretty much the only thing that they have besides the Firestorm here. So, yep. Winstrike just walking right on into the base. Another 12 seconds before the Underlord's back up again.
Constant Solar Crest onto Diracho, so he just destroys his tower that much quicker.
Smoke over on the side of Unique. They're hoping to find a good angle here. Slayer wrapping around. Bignum with him. Hoping to maybe pick off someone.
Rebel has Aegis still. This is going to be tough.
Yeah, he's just standing very forward here. Smoke will break. Immediately taunt back over onto the Tusk. Bignum, okay, gets the magnetize off. Backline Rebel, though, poking away. Bignum, he's taking a lot of damage. He is going to fall. Yamish, though, oh, he barely gets taken down. As Duracho is just running at everyone. Takes down Palantimos. Is just going to chase after this Underlord, who just came back to life now. And he's down.
Slayer's just trying to cut some creep waves in the meantime while the push is happening, but a catapult is still alive, so the Rax will go down in the wraparound. They barely even kill the Tusk. He doesn't die at all in the combo, and everyone on Winstrike is able to just cast their spells freely from that point.
I'm so surprised. Yeah, now when your Grimstroke is your only hope of being able to just push out these waves right now, because you know that he cannot be there because they're just going to jump on him. Like, that feels so bad.
Yeah, and by the time that your Underlord got his pipe for you to counteract the magic damage on the side of Winstrike, Cheshire Cat has a pipe himself, so your bit of damage, your bit of magic that you did have on Unique, it's completely gone, completely negated because of that, as Winstrike is now just cleaning up the game.
Look at Diracha here. He just doesn't seem to care. He's just going to continue to hit the buildings. He knows the rest of the team will keep him... Oh, look at that. Dream Coil at 3 over on the back line. So they're focusing down the rating, but he's going to be absolutely fine. The Ice Blast connecting over side, rolled forward over onto Bignum. Palantimos just taking too much damage. Diracho does have to be careful. He's got to toggle carefully here as Bignum's a little bit off the mark. Ribble, he's going to be able to go. They take down the Aegis, but this Wraith King still alive and kicking. Still has the reincarnation. Is not afraid of anything right now. GGs get called. Winstrike, they started in the lower division this season. They're up in the upper, and boy, they look good. They definitely belong here.
Yeah, these last two games, I think it really proved. I think it really proved that first game was just an outdraft, because their aggressive style, even in that first game, it almost won them the game. Playing
Radiant team
Virtus
ban.
Pros turn to ban. Virtus Pros turn to ban.
Radiant team ban.
Virtus Pros turn to pick.
Radiant team pick.
Lion.
Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Mars.
Virtus Pros turn to pick.
Dusk.
Virtus Pros turn to ban.
Timber saw!
Virtus Pro come into this the clear favorites, but they've already played one series in the second season. It was up against AS Monaco Gambit, and they did drop a game. So is there any chance, gentlemen, that Virtus Pro won't hold the same kind of dominance that they had in Season 1? Is there a chance they could slip up?
I guess the only kind of downfall from Virtus Pro is simply kind of the storyline of their first season was, they crush it, then they're going to the major Nightfall, unfortunately falls ill. They don't really get that kind of major showing. And then coming into now second season, their drafts are kind of somewhat identical.
Yeah, well, I don't think they needed to change too much. They ran into a very hot OB Neon as player in Southeast Asia. Yapaj just kind of showed him who's boss.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, they lost to Thunder Predator.
I just you there.
Oh. Neither were you caught your sleeping.
Virtus
I thought I caught that. But either way, the point is hot teams. They ran into a hot team. I think that conceptually, they're still the strongest team in this region by a large margin. Individually, their three cores are top three, guaranteed, if not the best. And I already love the open. Lion Timber into double strength heroes. Yes, please.
I mean, he's not going to play anything else so far this DPC. It's not going to be his fourth game in a row playing Lion.
Remaining.
You think, especially for a newer team like this, is it a bit of a disadvantage for them to actually end up first and go directly into playoffs and not be able to get that wealth of games out of a group stage like other teams did?
I mean, if we really want to get into this, I guess we have second ban phase.
Yeah, we're good.
It's a huge disadvantage. I think qualifying to group stage is ideal.
I mean,
starting lower bracket sucks, but you get to play Dota. Like, the idea that you qualify for the league and then don't actually start playing the tournament of the major till halfway through.
The interesting thing simply is that the teams that you are first, you get so many DPC points, you go playoff, but realistically, I feel everyone going to the group stage and then having a wild card feels better. Whereas, you've gone first, call your DPC, but enter the group stage, earn your right to get to playoff. Having kind of the double whammy of first place, DPC, money, and playoff, it devalues the competition. Yeah.
But specifically for Virtus Pro, it gives us a reason why they were so dominant in this season, but didn't actually show up at the major, right? They're a new team, and that's going to affect them more.
For sure, yeah. They don't have the exact practice, and also we have to remember the format and the style of the major, where it's kind of like you fly in when you need to play, you fly out when you lose. So it's not as if VP had the heads up where they had an extra, let's say, 2 weeks in the region watching everyone play as well. It was, it was a very unique major for sure. Again, can't make those excuses. We're now going second season. Virtus Pro, they've already dropped a game to Gambit.
You can feel the increased support that people put onto this season, though. I think, a lot of people were caught off guard. Like a couple of my family members included, when Valve announced, hey, Season 1, qualifiers, starting 4 days. It was Christmas holidays. It was, I believe, right before New Year's. And we're like, okay, season starts in 2 weeks. Get ready, guys. And people didn't really have the time to prepare to take it fully seriously. Now it is crunch time. There are no excuses. Everyone understands that the brunt of the points you earn is from the season. So you've got to win here in the league.
For PuckChamp, Melez, I think this is the story of this game will just be the offlaners. DM gets his Timbersaw, Melez gets his Mars. These two players, they're on their biggest comfort heroes. And of course, if you're watching this now and seeing this Timbersaw pick, and they're going Wraith King as well, Grimstroke Wraith King does pretty well against a Timbersaw in lane. You have that wave clear, you have the way just to play out the lane that sustain. And in the game, you eventually do scale to a point of being somewhat okay killing everyone else.
I don't know if I agree with you there, my friend. I think Timber and Jug are incredibly well matched up in this game. I think the bottom lane of VP is going to be significantly stronger against the Mars
Jug's going to be
than the counterparts against Timber. This to me is the VP bread and butter. Like,
no, it is. VP are in their comfort zone right now. I just feel like for PuckChamp, they at least have the philosophy that got them to upper division, which was that aggressive play style. Sure, Mars is in a bad lane, but I feel like this Wraith King, he's going to have an okay time. Like, he can eat through all of the damage. In the mid game, sure, he struggles with Timbersaw, but early on, like I said, he does. Surprisingly, it was last season that I was surprised at the fact that this occurred.
You ban a Death Prophet here, right? I figure Pugna gone, VP will go for the next option. Viper is another potential removal. But I think if you just remove the AoE silence, I love having a Death Prophet against Lion Witch Doctor, because they can play real far back. Hard to catch them, but the silence, especially with the Octarine build, has such a huge range that
you mean for VP to pick the DP? Or you mean PuckChamp picking the DP, sorry?
PuckChamp picking.
Okay. With the Pugna
they
ban,
both could, technically.
Yeah. I mean, VP, I like the idea of like an OD, for example, especially when they ban out Pugna. Well, it's the idea of saves, it's the idea of just constant fight, but it depends. Second season, new style. DPK so far has played Invoker, Storm, and Beastmaster.
When you do not have overall last pick, it is something of a vote of confidence for the hero pool size of that player, right?
Yeah, it's also about being able to pick the right hero that isn't going to be countered by, X or Y. It's you pick it with confidence of, we know what's coming, but we've already covered with the Timbersaw or the Juggernaut. And it does help for sure in scenarios where your mid is comfortable, because there are some mid players where they don't like this pick position because their hero pool is a little bit more kind of unique, where the counters are so obvious.
That's also why I think more teams have been comfortable first twoing their mid, because it's like, okay, well, do you want Void Spirit, Puck, or Storm? And okay, they get it last here for
this is like
GBK.
This is like the generic hero.
Yeah. The thing, it's just what is good other than these generic heroes, because they do stuff. To be a viable mid hero right now, you've got to be able to utilize Quick Bottle and Water Runes. So mana must equal creep kills, preferably AoE. There really aren't many of those that also have built-in disables, escape mechanisms, and mid-game peaks. And DP for PuckChamp is the pick. I can't see anything better.
The nice thing regarding PuckChamp is they do play the Mars into two roles as well. They played it mid before, and obviously into the offlane. So right now, I feel like they might even be asking, put the Mars mid, maybe into the Void Spirit if they don't want the DP, and it allows them to have a stronger offlane matchup to maybe punish the Juggernaut. Or pick a hero to play into Timbersaw. But I still feel Grim Wraith King should.
Oh no, okay, I get where you're going. You could go for the Necrophos we just saw win a couple games, but I'd be a little concerned. I'm biased a bit because I just think Death Prophet's still one of the most underpicked heroes in the patch. Huge buff to core DP was the change to Crypt Swarm's mana cost. It used to be 165 at peak. Now it's 125. So levels just turn in, like, you can farm so much more efficiently. They have a lot of time to think about it, to be fair.
Yeah, Virtus Pro, we've already mentioned this, they're in full comfort. If you think about their timings, it's going to be the Timbersaw applying pressure in lane, looking to take that early tower when Wraith King eventually does look to go jungle. From that, your Juggernaut should have a good time if he's laning into Mars. If he's laning into a new hero, might be troublesome with the counter, but VP, they're going to have 3 lanes that should go even, worst case scenario. They shouldn't be losing any lanes with the heroes that they had. And I think that's Virtus Pro's way of going, all respect, and their approach, I think, to why they're so dominant in the region is they always seem to have strong lanes that allows them to, win the lanes and hit their team timings that they know so well. And then they go for Batrider.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so they are going to do Mela's back. Yep, they put them mid-Mars. Okay, so they're trying to apply pressure to Timbersaw. Batrider used to be the counter to Timbersaw. Nowadays, I think it's not as hard counter. It's more like a 50-50, but...
Are you aggro tri-laning into the Juggernaut Witch Doctor lane? Because otherwise you're putting a bat against the Jug.
Yeah,
I think they're tri-laning into tri-lane, right?
Yeah, I think they're going to go for an absolute brawl. They're going to allow Melez and DM just to, do the 1v1, and they'll see how it goes, so...
Okay.
Sure. I like the fact that PuckChamp, they are just trying to be a bit more, creative on the take. They're not just going to accept, let's play dual lanes. Yeah. It could be atrocious. They could lose the tri-lane because of in the Maledict and just the annoyance that VP has, but if it goes their way, You get this quick BKB bot.
Seconds remaining.
It's a risk. If the bat works, it works because they have no cleanse for it. So this is a great game. And yes, the jug into lane against bat, if that's the matchup they get, that can be tough to deal with. But, you know, you get the spin, you lasso it. Like, you have so much raw damage output with the Mars Wraith King that, you know, everybody will die in the span of lasso. There's no save, just some light counter initiation.
I just like the fact that you said about how good of a bat game it is. Sure, bat's not so hot right now, but there have been times in previous series where this bot's BKB in Season 1 surprises you that you have no way to rebuttal it.
You can't do anything.
This is the exact game.
Lasso's up, that's a kill. So that's what we're going to need to see out of
Metas v the world, for sure.
And in all cases, though, it's a forgotten meta for the most part. But tri-lane versus tri-lane, that's where the game will be decided if one team can roll over.
It could just be 2-1-2, and everything we said was worthless. But I hope it's a tri-lane.
What you want.
I hope it's a tri-lane, and I hope it's Bat v Timber. That would be very exciting from PuckChamp to kind of bring that to this type of game.
Well, I think what everyone hopes for is that it's a exciting and close game. Can PuckChamp bring that against the real champs in Virtus Pro? Go now to Odie Pixel and Fog.
Thank you very much, Cap. Yes, a real test indeed here for PuckChamp. You know, this is it's going to be a challenge for them. The team coming up from the lower division and now having to face up against VP. What do you think the chances are here, Fogden? And do you like this? You know, a hero that a lot of teams have strayed away from because of the nerfs.
It's definitely intriguing, and if you're really comfortable going for it, the hero can still have its usages. It's not a farmer anymore. I think that's the first thing that people need to recognize when you are trying to play this hero. You cannot be like, I'm going to go farm Ancients, I'm going to go farm anything. You have to just play aggressive. And if they can get this lane set up, they get the Batrider versus the Timber, it used to be incredibly strong. You just end up like taking over the matchup like at like level 3 or 4. You kind of just force the Timber out of lane. So we'll see. Meles, he is that master tier Batrider, so has to be very comfortable with this matchup, and we'll see. I think this is a very nice aggressive draft kind of coming out from both sides. VP always goes for safe lanes. They're always really, really safe about how they do set them up, never really picking just a losing lane straight up. They're always going to be able to fight back. So we're going to get lots of fights, Owen.
Sure. So in that sense, do you think VP won't let it be sort of like a Timber versus Bat setup? They'll change something, whether it be having support back up for the Timber or just not having that matchup at all?
This pleases me.
I think they'll probably change things. I think they may even just like put the Lion behind the Timber because that completely changes the whole matchup. If Timber starts to get away with a couple levels, then it starts to be able to like a +1, and Timber's damage is actually pretty significant versus Batrider. You have to remember you are quite high strength game, so it does. It's still painful, you know. Sure, it's not your main attribute, but it still is going to be painful whenever you get hit from these spells.
The battle begins.
That Whirling Death in particular.
See, VP setting up there, see if they can find something, but PuckChamp not going to walk into the trap that VP tried to set. And we'll see.
It's going to be the tri-lane.
Okay. So when it comes to that, does Meles stay down here, or they'll have to switch it up, or will he just sort of sack the tough lane?
Ooh, he might just have to sack it, but then you're picking Batrider in a place where he's not going to be dominating lane, and that's where the hero overall has shown his weaknesses, and that's why he's like not really picked so much. So these early aggressive wards, I think, is really crucial for VP. They get the setup they want, the Jug versus Bat with Witch Doctor, and they burn the Lion top DM. He saved his TP too. He Timber chained across the map to get up, so he'll have a TP if he'd like to move in case they do, and he'll just have to accept with the fact that he's going to have a bit of a tough start on the Timber.
Sure, but with that in mind, that Meles against a Jug Witch Doctor is going to have an infinitely worse time.
Yeah, as soon as those boots come out, I think we're going to see Nightfall. That is just going to rush those up immediately so that those boots on the Bat will be counteracted. And they're just going to chase him out. They're not going to really let him play on the wave. They're going to power deny.
I mean, what did he do?
The problem.
Did he just go pull the small camp? I mean, can't right? It was blocked as well, right? Yeah, they've got that figured out, VP.
Blocking.
So we'll see. As you said, Master Tier Bat, maybe he is going to be able to show us how this hero can work, even if you do have a bad start. Even though, as you say, the recovery methods of this hero have just been shut down completely with the nerfs.
Yes, they have been. He gets boots, and he instantly brings out Windlace with his first set of gold, so he's just trying to get that movement speed so he can counteract the Jugs boots that are coming out. Might end up working for him. Might actually get a little bit down here, but we do see DM. He's also starting to get some stuff top, even though the pull is blocked. The lane it pushed in. They just made a couple extra last hit mistakes that causes it to go into his favor.
And this top lane with the tri-lane, they have PuckChamp. Is there much kill potential against these two heroes, or are VP able to deal with this aggression, this sort of the kill-hungry tri-lane that PuckChamp do have?
They should be able to get kills on DM, but it's going to be, if Save isn't in position to get the stun, because he's got a good way to bail him out. If he just connects like a single stun, he's going to be able to Timber Chain out on DM. So they should be protected as long as Save doesn't get out of position. Other mid lane. So pretty good for Desperate. It was Boranya, right? I'm not mistaken that.
No, Branya's a different team, right?
Well, maybe I am confusing myself completely. I'm sorry.
No, yeah,
I clicked on his profile and he renamed for some reason.
No, this Desperate.
Okay.
Desperate's Desperate, as far as I'm aware now. Yeah, a lot of sort of names that people just won't be familiar with. I think sort of their first real showing, a lot of these players, was that lower division last season. So really getting to see if they can prove themselves here.
Okay. Well, he's doing really well mid. He's actually doing excellent versus that Void Spirit at the moment, dominating the matchup.
Yeah, well, because what did you say? Because a lot of tip players do like to name themselves other players when they're playing pubs.
I thought I thought he played with them, but maybe I'm just totally confused right now.
Yeah, with Branya. Yeah, we'll check afterwards. But no, Branya's on another squad. I'm like 99%
I thought
sure.
he played the Beastmaster for them one of the games that they did play. I might be totally confusing myself. Either way, Desperate. He's having an excellent time in the mid lane. Wraith King also with this tri-lane. He's having a good start. Dipping for the jug, so kind of similar on both sides at the moment. Timber just getting a little more than the bat. And Timber overall, he will have ways to bail himself out. I'm really wondering how this bat is going to end up working.
Sure, it's 5 CS, 3 minutes in. I mean, it's as you said, this is what's going to happen when he's against the lane that he's against. But PuckChamp, they didn't try and change up the lanes. They accepted it when it got handed to them. So they have decided to work with this. And Melez is going to have to show us some sort of magic. And if he can make the hero work in this situation, then teams, they've got to respect the Melez bat. If he can make something happen after being set up for a very rough start.
Yeah, he's just going to start doing some jungling, so he'll be able to kill these. It's going to be a little bit slow, but he does have at least 6 stacks up on it, so he'll get something at the very least. Doesn't have to use his whole mana pool to kill this camp. But mid is, they're even tipping Desperate. Like, they know how well his lane is going. He actually pushed GPK out almost of the entire lane. He has pretty much every single one of the CS. I actually don't think he's missed much of anything.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I don't think he has.
I think 36 would be perfect, right? So he's only missed 1 creep so far on the Mars.
See if have they got any sort of potential to make a move on GPK when Desperate hits the 6? I guess it's hard, right? Void Spirit's always going to be able to jump out. They don't have an instant catch really on the lineup. A lot of very telegraph spells that GPK will be able to avoid.
It will be hard for them to catch GPK throughout most stages until they do have, if he does go for Yules on Desperate, which is probably going to be the case this game, or high chance that he does, since he's versus both the Timber and the Void Spirit. He can set up some nice quick spears. DM, though, is getting the level. So he's hit level 4, feeling very strong now with level 2 react. But he's got backup, though.
He does. He's got a lot of backup. Kingslayer coming over as well. They'll get the cask down onto the Wraith King. Crit's in trouble. He's going to pop pretty low here to the Valedictix. In fact, he's dead. Down. Yeah, he's not going to be able to keep himself alive, as that is going to be first blood, taking down Crit and also taking down Astral DM. A tower hits are coming in, but he's got the self ready to go, and he's able to walk away alive as VP take down the 2. Smart moves, just making sure that they've got Kingslayer in position and ready to fight back against PuckChamp's tri-lane.
Great move by him. Like, he actually walks up there, saves his TP, gets that kill set up, TP's bottom. Now he's with the jug in case the Batrider does start to lane again. And this is the problem about that. That Batrider. He forced the jungle. He's
GPK.
Mid, though.
I mean, they're going to have to snowball, but Desperate, he's very low. We'll pop the Fairy Fire. And now they're actually looking to turn. They've trapped GPK in the arena. GPK got any measure to jump out. In fact, he's going to try and get back in onto Desperate, but further backup comes in. They bring down GPK and keep Desperate alive. Oh, and now save
from Astral.
Radiant's bottom tower
He's going to have enough damage for this. Won't be quite enough even with the urn. So Save will manage to walk away. But yeah, what a snowball save. I mean, it was a smooth move from VP to open up, but PuckChamp prepared.
Such quick reaction from the Tusk, really. If he's not there at that exact moment into kills.
Oh, yeah, he's gone.
Saving up bottom. Mars. Melas.
Nice. Pinch the tree here with a spear.
Casco. And Nightfall is here.
They can't poke too hard at the jug.
Ooh, sticky. Ooh.
Kingslayer. It's going to go down. The Omni Slash. Ooh, last two bounces not working in Nightfall's favor as Melez. He's going to be fine.
Welcome.
Great spears. Good plays from Melez too, just using the sticky rather than just using like any of his spell damage, the sticky. And now he's got lasso too.
He's going to look for save. He's got him. Dragging back into the Firefly. Another kill for him. So despite the tough start, I mean, Melez getting 2 kills already down here. 7.5 minutes in. Looking very nice.
He's quite farmed too. He's almost level 7. That's pretty huge. 800 gold on top of the bottle and the boots and the windlays. Not too shabby. And there is a change that did happen. You know, Batrider overall was nerfed, but lasso damage was actually increased. So when you do get those early lassos, it is quite strong if you're sticky.
GPK.
Desperate.
I forgot the damage. Yeah, with the Maledict. There's going to be very little they can save, and they'll buy him some time in the snowball. Actually, is that enough to save him against the ticks of damage? Okay. It is another nice move from Astral. Astral keeping his mid covered multiple times now on the Tusk.
That one's not a snowball just instantly. He snowballs to the left onto the creep wave dude, pulls him out of any type of aggressive move. Great place from Astral.
Looking very nice. I mean, all things said and done, 8 minutes in, you're keeping the net worth level with VP. You're feeling pretty good about yourselves here, PuckChamp, with this opening.
Especially with like a Batrider pick, right? The Bat who is getting little to nothing that ends up making it work throughout this laning phase. He's going to have boots to travel at a pretty good time. He's already level 7. It's like he wasn't even in that sack lane.
Bubble from the void.
This is huge stuff. Absolutely showing what Melez can do on a hero that pretty much the entirety of the offlaners you'll see here in this, in pretty much all the regions, you know, they're not going to want to pick back. And especially if they knew it was, if any of the offlaners knew they had to play it into the matchup that Melez has had to. But he's not fed, he's got farm, and he's having a game.
He's trying to actually make a move on to save. Nightfall this time is around in the area. This time he might have bitten up a little more than he can chew, but he's actually still a Firefly, so he can go back onto the side into the trees and he'll be okay.
Nicely done.
Very nice.
I mean, it says he's no longer sort of this hero that they can just step up and kill. Especially with Desperate heading over. Desperate's coming in with a ace rune. Top lane, DM and Kingslayer will manage to get the jump onto Jakalis. Mid lane, GPK. He's out in time, not enough catch to control him.
This please.
DM is going to be a big problem for them, though. Melez is going to have to be that solution for the Timbersaw in particular in this game, because other than that, he's got an excellent matchup in this game. DM, the early pick Timbersaw versus Wraith King, Mars, and Tusk. It's pretty damn good for the Timber.
Yeah, I guess the one thing that could be a little irritating for him, as we've seen, is that Phantom's Embrace. You know, if he's able to get it in when the Chakram's out, he's going to have team members about. Otherwise, he's going to be very limited in how he can fight back.
They're going to hit him here. They should be able to bring him down. Also a tag team, level 3 tag team.
With tag team and the Embrace,
everyone.
Yeah, if they can get the silence on him, he's probably going to die. As they've got the snowball. Silence out straight away, and no struggle at this point of the game. If they have that sort of, as you said, just a damage buff up from the tag team and the control from the silence of the Phantom's Embrace. When he's alone, he will be a free kill at this early point of the map. So, again, smooth moves from PuckChamp. They'll also be able to get back over towards mid, and we'll look to push back this pressure from VP.
Ooh. If Melez gets a good flame break knockback into a lasso instantly, that's just a dead GPK right there with Desperate following up with the spear. He tries for it, doesn't quite connect, but they will stop the
tears.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Seeing Crip. Very good farm on the Wraith King. 2,900 into the Radiance. He's going straight for the Radiance rush this game. No armlet. And it's going to pay off. The Relic very likely to be done before VP can make an active move against him.
Yeah, that's interesting, actually. I think I'm okay with him just going Radiance because he has this full free lane. Doesn't want to go for...
Yeah, he's getting away with it.
Item. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Nightfall also, he's going to go full greed. He's going for Battle Fury. Both going to be able to match themselves in that farm potential as the game does progress.
Yeah.
Bottom.
To get the Firefly off again, is he able to move over the trees and far enough away? Oh, flashing bounces the wrong way! Oh, Melez just tanks! casually tanked 2 ultimates and walks off. Oh, that's got to feel bad for Nightfall and Save. And they just can't kill the bat down here, even with the finger and the Omni Slash. Melez gets away.
I actually do there. We'll give it to the Arcane Ring armor, 2 armor, giving him a little.
It did make a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Melez, it's, he'll tell you that was skill. That's the power of the Master Tier bat. He can make the Omni Slashes go back towards the creeps. I mean, he's going to have a big grin on his face, I'm sure, after being able to walk away like that.
Yeah. Maybe a slight mistake. If their Nightfall maybe spin instead of using the Omni, perhaps they have enough. But
see, they're going to try and get a fight going here. And at this stage, they do have. Oh, do they? The stance isn't going to last long enough. He's still alive. He looks down. They couldn't quite kill him off this time round. As DM's fine, backup comes in as they'll lose Desperate. They will manage to find Kingslayer in return. DM is still trying to focus him. He's actually going to miss the Timber Chain. The Firefly does come to an end. Bella's trying to stack up the Napalm. Get the flame break out on the 2 of them. Remnant grab onto Astro, but Astro, Crit, and Melez, they're still good to continue to push back VP. I won't be able to find anything more than the Witch Doctor, those. Wow. I thought they'd have him, but they didn't quite. That time round, DM does live, and then, of course, that makes it a whole lot messier for PuckChamp.
I can't believe VP scurries away with that. I'm so surprised they only lose Kingslayer there. I really thought at least the Lion or somebody else would go down, but Save is so patient. I've watched him a lot of times now on this Lion. He just keeps waiting for multi-hero stuns rather than just throwing his stun and just whiffing it or maybe only getting one. He waits for the multi-hero ones, and it actually ends up saving himself and a couple of his teammates perhaps from the big hit that PuckChamp hits. And now VP, they're not as cooldown reliant. They're going to look to pick back immediately.
Well, they are. And PuckChamp aren't quite ready for this sort of quick movement off the back of the last fight as they catch Desperate by surprise.
It's the D-ward too. So the kill into a D-ward into potentially pressuring the tower too. Nice hit from VP.
And this is where it gets a bit scary for PuckChamp. You've had this nice opening. They made some first good solid moves, but now VP, they've got their items online, these early sort of skirmishing items, and they're ready to bring the action to you. And you've got to be ready for it. You can't afford to make mistakes. Any mistakes now, VP is going to fully capitalize on them to get further and further ahead.
Yeah, if they commit onto DM, they have to fully commit. This Hood is going to make things a lot more difficult since he had that last fight, and he's going to get enabled up to a pretty fast Lotus Orb, and now they can just back up. They farm with their Jug, and it kind of feels like the pressure starts to feel like it's on to PuckChamp to start to do something. They don't have the blink on Desperate either. He actually died twice now when he's been very close to it. So that's going to slow down a lot of the potential aggression for PuckChamp to be able to slow down this farm that VP is just going to sit back and be happy with.
I restore.
Bottom line. Melez looking pretty dead this time round. The Maledict's out. Death Ward as well. Hit the stick charges. And see Snowball as they try and turn towards Kingslayer. Melez, he'll still tick out to the Maledict.
I think Melez was telling Astral to. He was like, "Wait, let me come to the snowball.
If he
pick me out of some damage."
He did stand next to him and didn't get picked up. I think he would have at least dodged one of the ticks, which may have been enough to keep him alive.
Nightfall heads up TP immediately after that stun does come out. They can't actually chain it. Spear was still on cooldown for Desperate. If he had Spear up, actually, they would have gotten that kill, but he used it to farm, I think.
VP getting away with another kill and not losing anything for it. Nightfall staying at the top with the farm.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
See if they're able to keep up.
I'll take that as tribute.
DeCarlos, they've got the pressure coming in mid. PuckChamp. For this tier 1, starting to get a bit more aggressive with crit now.
GPK still pressuring bottom, and they have this ward as well. The Bat Rider's stepping up to stop him, but okay, he won't be able to. GPK will finish the TP. And they will finish the mid tower.
Yeah, Crit's pretty strong with the radius. As long as they can keep him alive, DeCarlos can buff him up and get him in. They could use to aggressively fight with the reincarnation.
Yeah, he's strong damage-wise, but he is unbelievably fragile. He has very little armor, and he's versus a Timber Saw, as well as heavy magic damage from the side of VP.
Oh, actually yeah. All right, a little bit slow on the response there. Nightfall, he just allows himself to get Wraithfire blasted. As there's no response from him at all, they will lose Mars in return. Finger comes out. Crit will die the once, but VP's having to back off. They've lost 2 of their members. He
didn't have vision.
Sure, I guess he just wasn't prepared at all. Fight not over quite yet. I'm going to jump back in onto Crit, and Crit, he actually is going to get burst here by VP, as VP see a chance to get back in, as PuckChamp hang around for a little too long. They might even lose more here, PuckChamp, as DeCarlis is getting surrounded by GPK, DM, and Save. It's going to be another kill here for VP. Or it, DeCarlis, yeah, they've got him. Melas trying to fight back, but with a step back up, Void Spirits away.
That was all right. There's a little thing that actually PuckChamp did there. So the Wraith King stunned from high ground, right? They smoked. He turned his radiance off when he was walking in to get that stun connection. So it actually caught the jug completely.
Yeah, it did not. Yeah.
So that was actually a really nice little play that PuckChamp did. But then, as I was mentioning, Crit, he has to understand what his power is still. What his power level is this Wraith King. He's still very fragile. He walks in way too deep. There's so much magic damage that is going to be thrown onto him. I think he just felt that, and he's going to be more careful in the future.
And just sticking around a little too long at the end of that fight, PuckChamp.
Yeah.
You know, they sort of get that big kill, get Kingslayer on top of it. He's still up to hang around. Bottom lane, Melas, Omni slashes back up, he's dead. And over to the side, Save and DM, they've got another catch. They found Astral. And Astral, he'll try to escape it with a snowball. DM's going to be sure to chase this, though. He's not letting Astral get away. VP getting out on top now with these kills. As even when PuckChamp makes a move, they're losing more for it in return. VP starting to get that lead up.
PuckChamp is completely ulti reliant, it feels like, with the team fight. Like, they have to have the Mars ulti up. They might even have to have like the lasso and everything up. VP, I don't feel like they're reliant on almost anything. Like maybe like an astral step. So they don't really have to worry about any of these fights going longer. Once these fights start taking too long, I feel like PuckChamp is at a huge disadvantage with what they're playing up against. With this Void Spirit, he's having an Arsenal spell. Same thing with DM, who's unkillable. We see he actually went for Pipe rather than going for finishing that Lotus Orb greedily. He's understanding that it's all magic damage really coming out. Even the Wraith King, this Radiance, if they just tank through the initial go, VP's gonna win the fight.
Oh, I'm gonna try for Roshan here, PuckChamp.
Okay.
We've got a little bit of time left on the DD. It's about to expire. I mean,
bit of a bold one.
There, VP's not heading over quite yet, so we'll see if VP checks it out. They don't have any vision themselves, VP, around this area. So maybe PuckChamp, yeah. I mean, VP's going to start suspecting something's up, and they're going to scan it. VP know. Can they get there in time? PuckChamp, they're speeding it up. They've got to finish him off quickly. Oh, they're not even going to commit for it. They're too scared of VP being able to get in and fight them in the pit. They've actually stepped back for now, but Roshan is so low.
Nightfall popped the healing ward. I think he was going to use it to scout. He like sent into the pit for a second, but we'll back up. And it's got the long cooldown.
I forgot VP did.
Go back in.
Yeah, VP just stepped right back. They didn't even try and make a move aggressively into the pit. As PuckChamp probably a bit surprised themselves that they were allowed to walk back in and take it. As they get the Aegis on Desperate, ready for the next fight.
That looks like a conscious decision, though, right? VP was like,
sure, they bailed on it. Yeah.
It looks like they were like, we don't care about Roche. Do we care about Roche? No, we don't care about Roche, because they all immediately backed away. So it had to have been a conscious decision from VP to be able to think that, hey, we don't even care about playing versus it, as they're all still playing around each other looking for a fight.
So
having the Aegis, I think PuckChamp is realizing how important he is.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, you know, Crit is, even if you give the Wraith King sort of like a third life in these fights, you know, sure, he's got 3 lives, everyone else has got 1, you know what I mean? And then if Crit gets isolated, everyone else is dead, then this Wraith King's not going to be too much of a challenge for VP to take down. But if they can split these resources, have Desperate with that second life, team fight definitely becomes a bit stronger at this stage, 20 minutes in.
He needs to get good. I think the concept is just like he needs to get arena off. If they don't get arena off, they lose the fight completely. So he has to have a second way to at least attempt to get it off. As they're kind of stalking him. I've been watching DM. It's kind of watching him. And speaking of DM, you know, he got the pipe, very tanky. He got the plate mail, even tankier. He got the item. He got the Nether Shawl, my favorite item in Dota 2. Very good, balanced item.
So they can take another one. Stun won't quite catch him. Save. Quite having the reach to get Crit on the way out. Just a recipe away from the BKB, Crit.
full Solar Crest on the Tusk. So, okay, Wraith King is going to be pretty enabled. That's going to make him quite a bit tankier. Still very susceptible to all this magic damage that VP does have, and it's a lot of magic and control.
It's a very... Oh yeah, DM's feeling confident, just holding on to the tower, showing himself. Melet's already scouting things out for the trees. He's going to be able to get the jump on save. Arena's down for Desperate. They're able to pin. Winstrike over towards the wall. Kingsnare goes down. Melet's still alive, actually, as he's off to the side. They will chase him down with the Blade Fury, take him out, as that's the back gone. But they've lost both supports for this VP. They'll move over towards Crypt, bring down the Wraith King once. He's ready for round 2. Can they kill him off a second time? Desperate also coming in. It has the stun follow up onto the Jug. They've found Nightfall, focusing him over towards the side. Blade Fury's back up. It doesn't matter. They've got the physical damage to take him down. 3 dead on VP. Desperate very, very low. Is he able to blink out? He's away to the high ground, but GPK will hunt him down. Jumps in with the Astral Step. It's a cleanup by VP. DM getting the triple kill. As PuckChamp, even with the Aegis, the reincarnation, it's just, they survive. They get some kills. They get Nightfall. Fantastic stuff. But DM, there's just no chance. They can't kill this Timber.
No. Look at DM's spellcasts in the fights. 5 Whirling Deaths, 5 Timber Chains, 4 to 8 Chakrams of just the turns and pullbacks, the pipe, everything. They get the jump on the line, but the rego of VP is just too fast. They get the control. The bat dies so quickly, and then they're just isolated. These tanky cores on the side of PuckChamp versus the even tankier cores of VP. And I think they're pretty fortunate to even get the jug kill, I'll be honest with you.
Sure, it was so close. Yeah, the fight lasted long enough that he had another Blade Fury after this initial one you see here. And just, trying to do their best to take down heroes, ignore DM. But as you say, DM just able to land so many connections with this fight, especially happening around the tree line. And there's just too much to deal with. As these 5-on-5s are going to be so hard if they're not doing something about DM at the start of it all. But that's the problem when DM's on his Timber. They can't. I mean, what do they do? How do they stop this from happening again? How on earth do they deal with DM in these team fights?
Ban the Timber next game.
Yeah. It's so hard.
Impressive on Timber in all of his games. That's why they're picking it like this. Right? The first 2 in so many of their drafts, it's like they just put it out there.
It's a Timber Lion.
Like the Batrider was picked to counter it. EGAM is 9-1-6. He's 15 of the 17 kills. His damage this game is insane. And his survivability too. He's kind of doing everything for the team. Items are perfect. He's got the Lotus Sword to counteract versus the Batrider to protect as well, protect himself and his teammates, and then the pipe. It's perfect right now for DM.
It definitely feels the sort of after we saw when we saw that second move around the outpost to try and kill DM where they got so close but didn't quite. You have that feeling then from that point on. It's like, well, they're never going to be able to do it again. They're not even going to get close to bring down this Timber. It really just has fallen into the realm where Timber is king in this game.
He is the true king, and he has the shard. DM, we asked him about the shard the other day, and he put a little cheeky smile on, saying, no, it's not that broken. This shard is so damn strong. The fact that it affects buildings now too, got slightly nerfed versus heroes in the way that the slow got reduced, but this item it's so much damage. It's a 630 damage nuke if you sit inside the entire duration of it. So pretty crazy for how little it can cost.
And PuckChamp,
and he's got Spell Amp.
They're going to try and have a punch at them here from the smoke. They have got the BKB.
Yep, 2 of them, right? I don't think the third one's online just yet for Melis, but they do have 2 BKBs on their cores. So it will be a lot easier versus Void Spirit and Timber and some of this control.
Sure.
At least get their spells up, but will they have the damage is the question.
Oh, that's the thing. Like, they could probably kill everybody else. But if they don't kill DM, DM's going to bring down quite a few of them in the fight. So, we saw last time, maybe even the whole team. So
yeah. And I think Melis has to go for a higher priority target somehow. Like, he has to get, like, the Void Spirit or something in his lasso, because grabbing the Lion, it didn't feel effective in the last fight. It's Melis.
Yeah, they're going to be able to start the fight onto him. Melis is gone, and DM's already Timber Chatting up to the high ground. He's found the backline. Save able to line up the stun onto the 2 of them. As they jump, he's burst down. He's controlling Desperate completely. Will commit with the BKB, but Chris having to use the rest of the BKB to TP out of there. Same for Desperate. And we'll they get a couple of support. And they will manage to keep their cause alive with these BKB TPs out. But it's these sort of trades, these fights, that they're not going to get PuckChamp ahead. And as these BKB durations begin to dwindle, it's where do they go from here? Sure, they're only 2k behind, but how do they find some sort of a move that's going to be able to shake up VP?
It feels like a monumental difference in net worth. It does not feel like a 2K difference at the moment. With the way
And now they found Desperate.
Still on cooldown.
Yeah. Melez is trying to box over to help out, but Desperate is going to go down. And now Melez, what does he do here? He has got the rest of the team coming over. Okay, well, they set upon to GPK. Have they got enough lockdown with the punch up? They do. So all things said and done, they'll certainly take that trade.
That's a big kill.
Yeah.
Sure. I think that should be his BKB pretty much done on the bat rider there. So he'll have some more freedom of getting in to pick which target he does go for with these lassos now. That's not bad.
Oh, absolutely. And as you say, with the tri-core BKB, they can head in, press it, ignore the supports, get themselves completely on top of, probably as you mentioned, GPK, maybe Nightfall second up if they can catch him before the Blade Fury. And then they can eliminate at least that core, to start off the action if they can walk in with the BKBs.
That's what they need to do, though. They're going to have a pretty big number advantage in the fights to be able to solve the problem of this Timber Saw. So now they do have that potential. They can chain stun, but they have to chain stun it. They have to make sure that they do it properly. If they're going to go for the lasso play on GPK, they have to drop the arena. They have to spear him to the wall. They have to throw everything onto that initial. And they have a gem now, so it's harder for them to get the jump as well, as it does feel like PuckChamp. They have to get a perfect jump for them to have a good team fight versus what VP does have right now. So this gem on the jug is pretty much immortal, it feels like, in this game.
It does end Nightfall having a... not necessarily the most action from him. 2, 2, and 7. He's missed out on most of the kills being brought, but his farm been impeccable. He's been doing exactly what he needs to do to get the win in the bag.
And they can never chain stun him. The S and Y plus the sliver now, he's got enough status resist that he'll always be able to get
tanky.
He's so tanky. They're gonna try.
Let's see. See what they can do there. King's in trouble though, as that's crit down once. Again, they've got the arena, but they're focusing Kingslayer. They'll kill the support, but the Omni stack comes out to crit. That's crit gone. They've taken down both supports, but again, that's just not going to be anywhere near good enough here against VP, as VP will happily lose Save and Kingslayer at the start of every fight, because they know that their 3 cores will clean up easily without the support backup now at this stage, as it just doesn't matter. This Lion and Witch Doctor, they're going to be laughing all the way to the grave every single team fight. They're happy to die.
I think Save, honestly, I feel like the two of them are the only ones that are getting pinned to the wall now in these bigger team fights that are happening. They're such a nuisance that PuckChamp is putting that much focus on them, and 3 cores now with absolute free reign, and poor Wraith King he didn't get his BKB up. I think he just died before even able to do it, so.
Got it.
And now this happens. A set of racks at least here for VP.
Gonna burn that Timber, burn down those buildings with a flamethrower.
You see nice little tips there between Save and Kingslayer. Sort of that mutual, this is how our game is and we don't care. We'll happily die for the team in each of these fights.
Yeah, he's like, Kingslayer, you have 7 deaths, so you're doing a better job than I am of dying first fight. So I'm going to tip you out. Good job, man. I love it. They're definitely feeling so good about this game. Nightfall's died twice, but he's never dying again because the status resist and how tanky he is. Same thing for DM. Cores are now having this free fluid game on the side of VP. Looks like they're grouped up. They're ready for another battle.
Let's see if they can get something other than Kingslayer or Save.
Oh.
Crash.
VP's got the high ground here right now, too. They're all smoked up.
Well, this is sort of thinking time for VP. Is this something they'll be thinking about right now? They'll be like, there's a high chance PuckChamp is making the smoke movement?
Definitely. Look how grouped they all are. Like, everyone's farming the same area. They're all ready for the battle coming to them. This is gonna be a tough one.
You don't want to go up these steps.
You're going to reveal, too, immediately.
No.
That's the thing. It's like they're going to show. Save is going to be able to pick and choose who he goes for, or if he wants to back up and reset and let his cores do the first move. They've got so many options. And GPK, he can actually start the fight now for his team because he has A on this.
Don't go up the stairs.
Oh, God.
Don't go up there. Don't do it. Crit, don't do it. What are you doing? He's gone up. He's down the wards to get the arena down. So they can take down Nightfall. They are controlling the judge, but he's so tanky. They can't kill him. Nightfall's able to put the Blade Fury. They turn over the walls to 2 of them. The taken down Astral, Dakalis, and Desperate. Crit's got to run, pulled back by the Remnant. As they went up the stairs, folks.
They went up the stairs. Yeah. They did. And this time they tried, though. They tried to catch Nightfall with all the disables, the status resistance.
He's so tanky, yeah.
And he's still like half HP. He can easily just finish up the fight.
It's a tough one. But honestly, you know, the opening, the first 10 minutes, PuckChamp, they gave it a good shot. And, you know, this was a game where they tried something a little unorthodox. They bring in the bat. Had a good early start, but of course, difficulties in terms of playing this game down the line. And as you said, I think they're going to be looking at this game, and you think you've got to really just seriously consider. You have to even make sure you have a draft that can deal with a Timber, kill a Timber, or just ban DM's Timber against VP.
I think you might just ban it. And VPs are so comfortable playing around it, and like that move in the jungle was kind of everything, right? They didn't kill him. He's 15-1 and 10. His itemization is
15-1 and 10.
And yeah, it's just been VP just playing perfectly around this massive Timber stall the whole game.
PuckChamp now give it another shot.
The last hurrah.
Let's see what they can do. One more shot really here for PuckChamp. So maybe they could time the Roche steal. Let's get it low. And GPK's already starting to play with them, stopping them from being able to jump in. As VP, they take down Roche, they get the Aegis on Nightfall, and they instantly bring down Crit the once. They'll lose save, but again, they don't care, because Desperate goes down. VP, they'll be able to now turn and focus towards Crit. Crit trying to run, but the stun from Save catches him as the BKB comes to an end. And it's going to be another team wipe here. Triple kill for Nightfall. GG is called. As VP will take this game one, and looking like the VP you would expect to see. This is always going to be a challenge, these games for PuckChamp. You know, being the team that's come up from the lower division, you're playing against the top team in Eastern Europe. The matches are going to be hard, but definitely.
seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
Virtus Pro's turn to ban.
Dire team ban.
Virtus Pro's turn to ban.
Dire team pick.
Virtus Pro's turn to pick.
Mars!
So, despite Melee's good
10
performance
seconds
on Batrider, it did feel like the hero just lacked a little
5
bit of
seconds
oomph.
remaining.
It's not quite there anymore, right?
Yeah, I think the key thing is if you think about the laning setups, you got a Batrider who's giving this Juggernaut such a free time. I think the CS
God.
denies it was just like 30 for 30, 40 for 30 at like minute 6 or 7 or something. So yeah, it is just too much of a free lane given away that does stumble into a game that VP just needs to react in. And now, game 2, we got the same stuff.
10
I cannot
seconds
believe they
remaining.
gave it to him. Not only that, they first picked Mars again,
5
leaving
seconds
Timbersaw.
remaining.
Like the VP insta pick because they are so happy with this.
Dire team ban.
Okay, you have Snapfire. PuckChamp in kind of
Virtus
history
Pro's
before, they have
turn
run
to
both
ban.
Snapfire and Mars, both mid, both offlane.
Dire
Snapfire
team
obviously into
ban.
support role as well. I think the
Virtus
issue here that
Pro's
obviously
turn
Kyle's
to
kind of like
ban.
slightly touching on there is the idea that you are giving VP their best strategy. If you have to look at all of VP's combos, this is clearly number one. So PuckChamp, they have to have an understanding of playing into it. I think another way of looking at it is look at the bans. It's like it's a Magnus. Do you really want to play up
10
against a VP
seconds
draft where
remaining.
you don't really know what the carry is?
Yeah.
It's empowered. And now,
At least they're
5
banning
seconds
Jug and
remaining.
Lifestealer. So
Yes.
they have a read that, look, if we're going to first pick this Mars hero, we can't also give one of these two innate BKB carries because then you have a carry and a Timbersaw that you really can't deal with as the Mars. That entire last game, I'm watching him blow Blink, BKB, Arena, Spear to
on
kill a
Witch
lion.
Doctor. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So what if it's a big
Dire
fight? They're
team
just going to buy back. If not, you're using your mid player's entire
Virtus
kit
Pro's
to kill a
turn
support.
ban.
It is not a recipe for success.
Virtus
Yeah,
Pro's
three really good
turn
bans from
to pick.
PuckChamp, but this is where you have to have so much confidence right now if you're PuckChamp because you give your opponent the same draft opening, and your changes you can make is simply the bans that you approach with, or the philosophy. Because clearly VP, they're not going to. All right, cool, you're giving it to us
Yep.
again. We're going to run it back. We're going to try and do the same thing.
Tiny
seconds
built
remaining.
in with his ultimate 12 plus 18 plus 24 armor. That's
5
absurd.
seconds remaining.
Mars is only physical damage. The minus armor from Snapfire, very ineffective. You're already. I'm obviously biased a bit because I think
Yeah, a little.
VP's best out in this region, but they're getting their bread and butter.
I would like to see PuckChamp try and draft themselves some more heroes that, if they do want to be the team that is proactive, that has cheap stuns, that has a way to lock down that one hero and get that kill quickly. Because Mars Snapfire, that's great, but it's very ultimate based. Do you have your Modern Kisses? Do you have your Arena?
Well, there's the laning counter in theory to the Timbersaw, but after the changes to Fury Swipes, duration reduced, the damage amplification reduced slightly. I think it's not as bad as it used to be. And I've actually seen Timbers
10
win this lane
seconds
at times,
remaining.
especially if they hit 6 first.
Right, you just Timber Chain all the time,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
You just
Yeah.
level 1 Timber Chain, you just spam it over and over again in lane.
And you don't have a reliable stun with the Snapfire either. Sure, you could cookie, but it's easier said than done if you want to land that kill.
But at least PuckChamp is going for more skirmishing-orientated heroes that will have some type of laning presence. Timber can outlane the Ursa, also Ursa in the right scenario. If you have a offlane that is independent, for example, Melee's, Ursa Snap +1 can be pretty, disruptive to a solo Timbersaw. And like laning phase, I think that was the most critical thing. Laning phase of PuckChamp, it went really well. Like this Wraith King, he wasn't shut down from the Timbersaw. So I think the slight adjustments they're looking at, a bit more laning presence rather than just farm, but also slight pressure. And again, I don't mind what PuckChamp did. It's just simply
10
they are the
seconds
team
remaining.
that clearly in game 1 was running around trying to make stuff happen. And VP,
5 seconds
they've identified
remaining.
this with an Oracle pick. okay, cool. We're just going to play defensive. You're going to spend so much time focusing on Timbersaw. Our Oracle can tank some ganks, be in a good position to enable our carry. This Tiny is obviously now the mid lane from this pick for the Oracle. So yeah, I do like what VP has, but I can give a lot of respect to how PuckChamp has lost that first game, but changed up their style for game 2 to try and identify how they kind of lost game 1. Now some more catch.
Hey, I like that the Mars is at least going to be in your off lane.
Yes.
I think that the mid Mars is not bad, but the trouble is when you combine that with a Bat Rider, it's like, okay, well, both of these heroes are effectively playing for that one opening kill. It's not an important enough target, and your Wraith King just does not output enough damage. So this is a lot more balanced. Nice to have Storm against the Oracle, because you can find him and kill him.
We haven't really mentioned it too much, but of course, Save, he's now played 5. This is his 5th game of Lion, and that previous game, Fog mentioned it during the cast, just the discipline on Save, the way that he uses spells, it's far better than most Lion players out there. Like, he'll always wait to hit that multi-stun. He's going to just be in the good position at the right time, turning it around. So I
don't know if I like the PL ban. I think you got to get rid of Troll in this position.
5 seconds.
Really, really good against both Ursa and Storm.
Okay, they just ban out
Illusion heroes.
Yeah.
All right.
Meanwhile, Virtus Pro, they're taking out supports that are able to output damage. They took away Lita, they took away... Oh, my God.
Look at the smiles. They're like, boys, we've just picked Techies against Virtus Pro. Okay, so the last time that we saw not Virtus Pro, Techies picked was in the Chicken Fighter series. Different region, but it was very disruptive at kind of positional control. I think Virtus Pro right now, this is why the illusion bans are coming in. We don't care about no troll now if you're PuckChamp. Double illusion ban, get rid of it. We pick Techies. There is no hero right now in Virtus Pro that confidently likes playing into Techies. And sure, they go for the troll. But yeah, this is a pretty good Techies pick in theory.
I was going to say, the troll is still your best pick. It just doesn't deal with the Techies. So this whole game comes down to...
Is that still a good Techies?
Techies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what's the date? April 23rd. So yeah, I mean... I can understand where the inspiration came for this PuckChamp draft, but I'm not sure I'm a believer.
Is that an April Fool's joke or a 420 joke? I'm not sure which one.
420.
Okay.
Very off.
Still don't get it, but okay.
Terrible.
Fair enough.
You're meant to be better than this, Kyle, but...
I'm working on it.
I love the tenacity of PuckChamp. They're playing up against the first seed in the group. They are going a bit left field. Bat Rider pick didn't really go their way. Now they go for a Techies pick. It's a completely different game now because they have to keep the game slow enough that Techies can fortify areas, and if they play around those areas really well, it's a great Techies game. But
it's just a nice time to pull up that ad. You could go from 0 to hero too, just like T-Gov. And I would like to see Techies lose quickly and never be picked again.
That's the cheap state.
But we'll see. They have a great matchup. Spear into Blast Off is pretty reliable. You don't have the greatest discombobulation. I think Techies is probably pretty good. Slack says it's completely broken.
The hero's amazing.
I trust him.
Like, I hate watching it because players who can play it, they are so much better than like the common Techies player, right? Like the ability, the knowledge you need to play the hero, you have to spend much time. It's as hard as like a micro hero, So that's why I hate it. Like, they're so good at it and they've clearly put the time. So I'm kind of jealous of them. I want to see
Fair enough. Well, we got to get to the casters. Game's already underway. It's a fresh Techies game. Owen and Fog, take it away.
Thank you very much, Cap. Yeah, it's always fun to see the teams try out the Techies pick, Fog. You shake your head. I mean, what do you think about it, this game? Is this a game where if you're VP, you're going to be annoyed with the Techies pick, or do you feel that they're going to be able to deal with it?
I mean, annoyed, sure, but I think they're probably feeling pretty confident.
Okay.
They got DM Timbersaw again. They got Oracle versus Techies too. I love playing Oracle versus Techies. It's great. You're always able to. You've always going to be able to protect your teammates so many different times to be able to not worry about anything, and it breaks the combo. In particular, that combo, the Mars plus the Techies. I think Oracle is phenomenal. So I'm gonna have to be pretty impressed. I was impressed the last time I actually saw the Mars Techies when it was Era playing it. He actually did a great job with Chesty. So let's see what they can do. I think it's gonna be tough though. This is a pretty strong lane, and I think they're gonna know how to play this. I think the biggest important thing that people need to recognize is when you're playing Techies is you keep yourself above that 50% threshold. I saw that's what actually caused the havoc last time in the other game is they were playing like an Ursa, and the Ursa kept letting himself drop below 50%, and that's where Techies can actually do something in the lane. I don't think VP's gonna give him their chances, but let's see what Astral can do. He was impressive on the Tusk. Let's see if Techies is his secret in his pocket.
Well, let's see. I mean, do you like this sort of mindset and approach by PuckChamp? You know, if you're PuckChamp playing against VP, you're like, you know what? Let's just throw something out there that's going to just change, make us kind of not play Dota to a point. You know, it changes the game fundamentally. Is this the way to sort of tackle these matchups where you are against such a dominant team?
It's your hardest game, right? It's your hardest series that you're probably going to be playing, period. So, you know what? Why not? If it's something they're super comfortable with, you go, just pick everyone comfort heroes. As long as the draft doesn't look too wonky, you can make it work. And to be honest, their draft doesn't look very wonky. It actually has some good stuff coming for it. Good stuff for it coming together as long as Techies does something in the game, which I don't think he will. So I don't know. I think good teams really know how to play against him, and he's dead already.
Oh, that's not great.
I love seeing it, actually. I hate that.
I was going to say, not great for the team, but great for the Dota community. Seeing a Techies give up first blood. So have to be a little more careful down on that bottom lane, as they have got the range, and especially once there's levels on the Oracle, they'll have to burst. Top lane, the Carlos goes down. VP finding kills in both safe lanes, both side lanes already. Just a minute in.
They did give VP a pretty solid draft. You know, they did give him kind of their bread and butter.
The Timber Lion,
a tested combo. The Lion Timber tested combo that they love. They're even going to get the side pull off up top after getting that kill onto Bucalis. So this top lane, it's going to be VP favored, and I'd imagine bottom is as well.
There we go. And get on to Nightfall. Not quite enough damage to take him out.
And look at Kingslayer's items. This is what I'm talking about. This is what you do when you're playing versus techies. Just buy regen. Counters the hero completely in lane. Just buy tons of tangos, tons of salves, keep your core at full HP, and techies just does nothing in the lane besides give you gold when he plays his mines.
No praise. This is
on mid lane, seeing GPK get a bit of an edge against the Storm in the first few waves. And how's the game for a mid Tiny? You know, we're seeing teams try and pick up the Tiny in these core positions now. Some of the ways their hero has changed, and this a good match for a Tiny to pop off.
Yeah, I like it when you're playing versus a lot of these fragile int heroes in the mid lane. It's just an instant set of bursts where if you get it, if you connect onto the Storm, like if you don't kill him even, he's at like less than half HP, like start off the fight. It makes it difficult. I'm a fan of it lately. I hated it a lot at first, but then when I started seeing the promise versus these like the Puck and the Storm in particular, I'm more fond of it now.
We're seeing at the moment the biggest struggles definitely on the bottom lane for PuckChamp. It's pretty hard here for the Mars to get his farm. Mid lane, toss back there from GPK. Bringing Desperate very, very low.
Well, he's got to get a rune. He's got to secure one of these bounties. If Kingslayer actually walks up and steals the bounty away, that would be devastating for Desperate. And GPK actually looks like he's going to be the one to do it. So Desperate might actually have to go to the opposite side to be able to get a bounty, perhaps, as GPK's kind of he's covering the area.
Yeah, it's like where does the Storm go?
And look, he's got boots, so he's just watching him. He's like, okay, if he starts,
he's ready to get. Yeah.
Follow. Yep. Oh, Desperate's having. Oh, this is so sad to see for the Storm. He's got to. The GPK's gonna tip him. He's gonna steal the
well,
You know what's going on here. Like, these are mind games. He's gonna go try to steal GPK's room, maybe, but he doesn't have boots.
He's too slow.
I don't think he can.
No, GPK's got full control of this.
Nice, very nice by GPK, the control. As we will have 4-minute runes, so Desperate will at least get himself a water rune more than likely, but a nice dominant position there from GPK.
Now the thing is, this game, you know, say DM does have kind of as good of a game as he did last time on the Timbersaw. Would you consider their methods of killing a Timbersaw any better this time round?
Yeah, I think so. They've got the long duration silence from the techies. They've got the big nuke from the Mortimer Kisses, and they have Ursa. If Ursa's able to actually stick on him, I would say yes. Yeah.
It's a bit better than last game.
Kill him. Yeah, I think this one they can kill him gradually over time. Rather than the last one, they have to pop him instantly. But I think it can be better. That being said, though, I don't know if it is going to be better. I think this is gonna snowball really fast. Like all 3 lanes are going in VP's favor. Levels are great.
Yeah, none of the 3 cores of VP struggling at all. Not too far behind PuckChamp. But there's 2 kills as well. VP up to a hot start now. To try and set up with the burst onto DeCarlos, but he has the stick charges. Nice cookies. They turn around over towards DM. DM's gonna get out of there. Indeed, this mid lane
kill.
only getting worse for Desperate.
Is under attack.
And look what your techies is contributing. He's doing your small camp next to you. Get techies out of it. I'm such a hater.
I got the CM.
That's grim. At least he's stacked. So Astral, we have seen him. He does have a triple hard camp stack for that Storm Cert for Desperate when he does want to go over and farm. But the aggression that we saw from Era in particular with that techie, since that's the only one I actually got to see competitively, it was way better. He was able to actually put pressure on. This one, he's not. He's just kind of a walking stacker, and we'll see if the mines ever do pay off. It kind of feels like they're not going to have a 4 position, perhaps.
Tech is over to mid. GPK is in with the combo. Now turning, pulling back towards the mine. He's out to the side, Desperate. He's got to get out. This falls very low here to the HP. In fact, he's actually going to die. Kingslayer with the purifying flames. And Astral.
Get a kill.
He denied the room, but he's going to pay with his life for that. I don't know if that was worth it.
And a D-ward on top as well. All right, GPK might just take over the game by himself.
Oh boy, this is a rough one. 5-0, 3k lead already for VP. It's gonna be a tough one for PuckChamp. Last game, at least PuckChamp had sort of a... well, they had a good early game. They had a good laning phase. This game, it's looking pretty one-sided.
It's a disaster. Oracle is just so good for techies. You even saw there, the remote mine, it's like about to explode, it pops, it's big 400 damage, it's 0.
Yeah.
Because the Fate's Edict was on the Tiny. So just multiple different ways to be able to play around that. And you can also, you can dispel the silence too, which is going to be something that will definitely come into play from that Oracle. As we see Kingslayer almost level 6 on Oracle now because of the rotation mid. Top continues being a problem. Game's falling apart already.
Stupendous.
Dire's structures are fortified.
I was early, but maybe time to just start mining your base. Get something set up.
I think Desperate might have to look to start making like those rotation plays with the techies to try to suicide, but who do they gank? It's a Troll level 6 with an Oracle behind him. It's a Timbersaw level 5 with a Lion behind him to protect him. And then it's a 1300 HP Tiny with 16 armor. Well, who's your target? You don't really have one. Desperate, he even has to leave one of the hard camp creeps left as GPK could just combo him and kill him if he does find him. Continuing to check the runes, we see Kingslayer just continuing to bully the poor Storm, also get a secondary D-ward, so both mid-wards have been taken away. So Desperate's farm is going to be pretty troublesome. They can find him pretty easily as he's looking for a move. DM is quite low HP. He actually hit this.
I see. DM won't initially get grabbed, so he still has time to get away, and he's fine. He's fine. They may get saved. Oh, the false promise. They're not even going to get saved. Saved, fine. PuckChamp's got to run. They've got to get out of it, but the stun's going to catch him. They take down Krillin, and now the Carlos, he's gone as well. 8-0. They didn't ban the timber. I mean, it's...
And Kingslayer was 6 already, because he swung mid, he up bottom so much, swung mid, gets that kill on the Storm. This is an Oracle level 6 at like 8-minute mark. He sees the rotation happening from Storm. He TP'd instantly. He TP'd before Desperate was even up there to stop any type of move. I think VP's going to try to go for some 0 death game here at the moment.
This probably is one of those games where as a team you're having the discussion and you're saying, first to die is a scrub.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a lot of... You don't want to be the first to die in a game like this. When you're 8-0 up, 5k lead at 9 minutes in. Oh no! Are they going to be able to get him there? No. Oh, stun off the mark there from Save. Completely whiffed that one.
Yeah, that one was a bit off the mark, but Nightfall, he survives. That was their big commitment of everything. That was the Mars ult. That was all the mana pool from the Storm. Can't even get the kill. Can't even force the ulti.
GPK. The toss back into the stun. Oh, they haven't quite got the damage though. Desperate will live. Melez, though.
Melez?
He's looking to be in a spot above it here. 4 heroes chasing him down. Nightfall's going to pop the ult and try and put the shift up. The toss back as well. Getting the Carlos into the action. On top of it all, 2 more dead on PuckChamp. 10-0, 10 minutes in. The flawless game from VP continues.
This is just brutal. Like, they have to jungle on Storm, they have to jungle on Ursa. It's just so limited what they can do, and I think Techi's just unable to do anything in this game. He's 0-2-0. He's stacked some camps, but that's been his only contribution really to the game. And that's your 4.
That's rough.
It's grim. It is very grim.
It's a little disappointing so far from PuckChamp, considering that they did have such a solid shot at the start of game 1. You know.
Yeah.
Game 2 is just this is one of the I think it is the most one-sided game we've seen really in both Eastern Europe and Western Europe. When it just one team is just they're not even getting to play.
That's pretty much going to be the case. I feel like in VP, like they blink on GPK, he can go do anything. Him and DM have full control of the game, just to jump however they want to.
Middle tower is under attack.
I just don't know what PuckChamp can do. They have to do so. Okay,
you gotta mind the base. Mind the base.
Mortimer Kisses and Marzo. They have to get something big with it though.
DM does get mined pretty low there. Not low enough for Astralto to commit for the kill.
Scanning.
Oh, and his whole entire last minute and a half is just gone. Poor Duggies. Setting all those mines. It's just a waste of time now as the Timbersaw doesn't care. I like watching Techies lose. I can't lie. I like it. And I like PuckChamp. They actually look so good. They look so good with like some of their first game moves too, but you're making everybody happy here.
Arena will come out. The Carlos is gone. Well, maybe they can kill him here. Kingslayer trying to get over the and the false promise. Can he get it in time? He can. False promise out. GPK's up to the high ground. Desperate still committing. Can they do the damage to kill GPK? I don't think so. As VP turn, they'll take down Desperate for his attempts.
Dire's top tower.
VP,
nobody dying.
Nobody dying. You can't be the first to die. VP, they've just announced if you die this game, you're getting kicked. You know, so no deaths here, VP.
We remember the the all hero challenge from VP.
Yep.
This one was the no death.
The no death.
Look out for falling.
He's gonna body block Melez.
Oh no. The cookie. Melez, he's trying to get back to his teammates. I don't think he can. Keeping them separated. He's gone. That's gonna get the arena down. They got the arena, the kisses. Oh, they're getting low. Save's getting low. Save. Oh, he's gonna go down. But they got the kill, PuckChamp, as they take down Save. Maybe they could get more out of this as well. They do. They get Kingslayer.
Looks like it's 12.
I think that might be it. As the rest of the 3/4 are here.
Oh, okay. Now it's time to run. Cut your losses here. Get out. They're not going to get to get out. They're not going to get to get out. All right, so that's it. Official. VP looking for 2 new supports. But they have died this game. 16-2. But 2 kills on the board here for PuckChamp.
2 kills.
2 kills.
And they got the
Could
courier.
be the beginning.
DM's courier with his plate mail. So, we'll take that as a big win. And I think they got another courier before the fight started too, right? So, some slight hopes of gold at least. And at least they got some kills. It's not a shutout.
No, this could be the morale boost that PuckChamp needed.
Oh my god.
That wasn't though. Feel like just comboed completely by GPK. They're trying to get him. Can they bring him down? He's pinned to the trees, but the backup's there. Kingslayer's in with a false promise. That's going to be Desperate down as well.
Dire's middle tower is under
As the show continues. The show continues for VP. Back to business.
To the announcer. He just says ownage, and that's really what it is. VP just steamrolling, and GPK having a beautiful game, 9-0-3. And the fairy's shrinking. I didn't really talk about it because of how disastrous the whole game has been for PuckChamp, but actually the best item for Tiny. I did not think he'd be able to one-shot the Ursa, but he can because of that. Oh boy.
Dire's middle tower.
And they just can't. They can't get any of these cores in return.
Dire are scanning.
A save from Kingslayer, always there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Now the question: Will we see anyone on VP's lineup die to a stack of mines? Do you think is Astral going to be able to set up anywhere on the map that maybe catches VP by surprise?
Radiant's bottom
No, look at Kingslayer. He found one of the traps. He's just farming them. Oh, DM. Get the techies there. DM feeling extremely invulnerable. We thought perhaps there was a chance that he might be a little bit more human-like this game, but nope. Still unkillable.
Radiant
Scan. They see them all rotating through the ward. They get a successful scan too.
under attack.
Some easy gold here for Nightfall. Plus 10, plus 10, plus 10.
Easy money for everyone on VP. They literally can do anything that they want. Throw out the usual game plan book. They can just literally run around, follow their wards. Anybody they see, they can try to kill them if they'd like. And PuckChamp has very little things that they can do. They don't have a 4 position on.
But imagine if PuckChamp make a comeback in this game. Imagine, just imagine.
Under attack.
It would be insane.
Oh, Slack. I'm gonna link to Slack.
Links to Slack. Well, that's a tier 2 down on the top lane. Still just 16 minutes in. It would be forgiven. What we got?
Krylite actually has okay timing on his battle.
He has.
Too, is the thing.
He's keeping up a little bit. He's not too far behind DM, at least.
Just what can he do? He's alone. And 0-3. Like, he's just died every time he's been spotted by this enormous Tiny. And look at this, Roche. The next step.
Radiant's bottom tower.
The mines is one of them. And it's gone.
And they go for a steal. Where's the storm? Get him over here.
Oh, Melis is invis too. There are sentries.
Get desperate over it. I mean, desperate. He's not coming over. He's not coming over.
On the lion. I can't do. Like, he's just gonna get hexed. Save's actually setting up.
The kisses are coming in.
And Save, he might blow up.
All right, there you go. The mine doing the job. Roshan will continue to fall it. So there won't be any attempt here from PuckChamp, but another kill for PuckChamp. Another kill for PuckChamp. Another death for Save. So at least for Kingslayer, he can now feel superior, holding on to his 1 death compared to the 2 that Save now has.
Very true. His position is safe in the team, and PuckChamp, they find a Philly Stone. So they're at least going to get some gold. It's natural.
If they can stall. Maybe. If Ursa gets 6 times techies. Now, these are the kind of games that techies, he can break you down. Imagine VP. However, if they lose people to high ground mines. What we got?
VP, a very sensible team. Kingslayer, he's like, I don't really need my gold anymore. He buys a gem. So the game is on.
That's an early,
Techies now needs to get a 4-staff play. He needs to get that gem. He needs to somehow get the gem so that they can hold the high ground indefinitely. But I don't think VP's going to give him that chance.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Look at them all just smiling.
Some smiles, at least, enjoying their techies game. As rough as it may be. 19-3. That's some work done on the chop. They're getting a tier 2 trade out of this, though, potentially.
Are they?
Oh, actually, yeah, VP's going to come back and defend.
GPK's got a haste and an echo saber, level 15. So he's got the higher avalanche damage on top, too. So most of these heroes are still burstable. I think just the Mars really will be the one that survives the combo. GPK's ready.
Oh, Grillix jumped in. Oh, all right. He was minding his own business, blinking under the tower, and then suddenly, a bit of a surprise there for him. I think Melis is able to walk out, but the Ursa definitely very, very dead.
Scout in the mine spot. Save's like, I died there, guys. Don't do the same as me.
Yes, there's a lot there.
Dude, that damage, like, I mean, it isn't such an over-leveled and over-fun tiny, but then he just one-shots the Ursa because he's got the
Dire's
Avalanche
middle
bonus. You know,
tower
that level
is under
15
attack.
talent plus Echo Saber. It's enough burst.
Now, how's the high ground? Have we got any mines in the base at the moment?
No.
Nothing sort of set up here. So, VP, yeah, they're going to be able to walk up to the high ground and start hitting on some of these tier 3 towers.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Nightfall. He's even got the Nether Shawl just in case.
Yeah.
You know, best neutral item. He's got all this magic resist versus the poor techies.
Here we go.
3.
They're going to smoke.
Dire's top barracks are under
Can they make a jump?
Melas doesn't have blink. Like, how does he make a jump? He has to walk in.
And they get the courier.
Radiant's
Get the courier.
Maybe.
Dire's top barracks.
I mean, he's ready to go in, but Save's ready for it. Jumps over with the Hex. That's going to be Melas gone. He managed to bring down Kingslayer. Kingslayer immediately buying back. Krillin turning over towards the Timbersaw. And that's going to be another one that they've killed the 2 supports. And they've kept everyone else over the Melas alive. Krillin, is he able to get up to the high ground in time? Oh, he's not. The root's out there. Nightfall able to catch him.
Well, they got the supports again.
They did.
Are you ready to run?
Dire's top barracks are
The
under
top Rex, they are completely gone.
Dire's top barracks.
And over towards the mid. VP's not done. They're continuing to
Dire's
push in.
middle tower is under attack.
No, it's time to end the game. They don't want to waste any time here. They want to get back to just playing some pubs.
See, they'll have one more fight in them potentially. As desperate. Oh, he's going to pull himself in. He's still got a bit of mana left though. He's playing fully aggressive onto Kingslayer, and he's away up from the high ground. But they've lost to Carlos. Desperate's now out of mana. He will go down. Double kill for Nightfall. They've got buybacks. They're going to use them. See if they can catch here. They're going to go for the big zip straight away. Looking to get into the backlines, but the Hex to the finger comes out onto Desperate. That's a dieback on the Storm. Melas celebrating being surrounded here by VP as Melas goes down. As they fall one by one. There's 4 dead, soon to be 5, and they'll call it. GG is called. VP, well, this game too wasn't really much of a game at all. PuckChamp, they try and have a bit of fun with the techies. VP's not gonna let anything happen with that, as the techies doesn't really get to do much at all this game. Fog, despite being one of the later picks in the draft.
And GPK styling.
Yep.
Solo killing the mid. Pretty much just having a full free game on the Tiny this time around. 12-0-9, killing everybody. I think he killed every single core by himself at least once. And also the supports. A perfect game from VP and PuckChamp. They fell apart. I mean, this one was at like the 5-minute mark, honestly.
Yeah, this one was rough. It's a little disappointing after we did see some sort of hope from them in game 1. You know, at the start, the first 10 minutes of game 1 looked all right. They were able to stand toe-to-toe with VP, but this game definitely looking like quite a difference in the level of the teams here, as it was kind of expected coming into this series,
yeah.
right? You know, PuckChamp, they came up from the lower division. VP, of course, Kings last season have that top spot. It's always going to be rough for them.
Yeah, it was just the biggest uphill battle I think they're going to have this season. So at least they were smiling in their defeat.
Yeah,
you know, right? We
yeah.
saw the camera. They were at least having some fun with it. They picked some heroes that they were hoping to at least enjoy playing. But in those 15 minutes, I don't know if there was that much enjoyment in the actual game. At least they had some smiles, and hopefully going forward we'll see how they're going to do, because this is their hardest challenge. VP is the best team in this region. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, we saw it here. None of the cores dying this game. VP controlled deaths. They would tell you on the supports alone. As VP, it's a walk in the park this game too. The series is theirs. 2-0 against PuckChamp.
You know, it may be fun to play techies, but you got to actually be able to play the game at all. And Virtus Pro made sure that wasn't happening. They're all business here. They wanted to be able to close out the series as quick as possible. They did just that. So we're going to go to a break and then hopefully have one of them on for a post-game interview.